Abundance, y'all. Greetings and abundance.
Abundance, my people. Abundance. Welcome in.
They probably like, she lied about this again. Let's talk about it, my people. Welcome in, y'all.
Until the lies is dismantled, the truth will never stop.
Facts. So welcome in, y'all. Tap and share. Tap and share. Welcome in.
This live is for awareness purposes only.
Facts. Facts. We just getting started. Welcome in. Welcome in, y'all. Tap and share. Welcome in. Greetings, abundance. We waiting for our people to get in here. Abundance, God of gods. Welcome in, y'all. Tap and share. We're just gonna wait for our people to trickle in. Give it a second. I haven't got to run this topic on this page for that long, so we finna tap in. We got time. We finna really see the state of our people today, our minds, how we feel about each other. That's what this is about. It's about dismantling dogma. It's about dismantling this system. Like, if we're going to talk about feelings, then that's one thing. But if we're talking about science and genetics, that's a whole nother bag. So welcome in, y'all. Tap and share.
Everybody should share to at least 5 people to 10 people.
Even if you scared of what they'll think, who gives a fuck? Send it. Hell.
We all got to be speaking about this. We cannot be afraid at this moment of time. Fear should not be something an emotion that you should be in the surface of your mind. It should be braveness.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Enlightenment, courage, discipline. Let's get up to 2K likes and keep tapping and sharing the live. You see what I'm saying? Because we need our people to know that we are all the same. And if you disagree, there's a panel open to tell us if we're wrong.
Yeah, that's it.
And we're willing to listen.
We don't do over talking in here. We let each other speak. You see what I'm saying? This is a very detailed conversation. This is not your normal TikTok live. When we come live, we always gonna have straight facts. Our lives are never opinion based. You know, I've even gone live even about topics that I may not be that I might have not been comfortable with comfortable with, but I knew that it was the truth because of what nature is telling me. You see what I'm saying? We have to sit down with things that it may be uncomfortable to hear. It may be uncomfortable conversations, but uncomfortability doesn't make it a lie. You see what I'm saying? You got to face the truth. So I see somebody wants to come up. Go ahead, Foxy Scott.
So all black people globally are the same.
I just want to talk to my people, man.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think all black people are globally the same.
Why is that?
Well, you can look at a Somalian and look at a West African and see how they don't look the same. The customs aren't the same. I mean, you can look at the
Um,
Khoisan people of South Africa and see the Khoisan people have different customs from Bantu people.
But what about embryology and DNA?
mhm.
Well, yeah, their DNA, they're genetically different from each other. I mean, that's why they look
Genetically,
different.
genetically different how?
Well, just like how any peoples or any species becomes genetically different, it's isolation, separation over time,
Hmm.
and then
Any species, correct? So how come we don't look anything like you, but they consider us to be the same species?
Mm.
well, again, because our ancestors split off at different times a long time ago, just like how different dogs look way different from each other, even though they're dogs, like
But
because they split off from each other and evolved differently.
but dogs are unnatural organisms. They're hybridized, domesticated animals.
Well,
So how did haploids turn into diploids?
even if that were true about dogs, I mean, it doesn't change the fact that, those other kinds of dogs come about through the same biological processes that it's just like how plants become different from one another. It's like how any form of life becomes different from, its ancestors.
So are you aware that, excuse me, for all life on the planet, microorganisms, plants, animals, insects, all the way up to so-called humans, whoever they're classifying to be meta-humans, whatever the case, right? You know that there's only two origins for all life on this globe, which is either spontaneous generation or biogenesis. So the science that you're talking about, the biological differences I heard you say for dogs, there's a branch of science called synthetic biology, which is backed by spontaneous generation because everything that falls under synthetic biology is has a eukaryotic cell origin. So, do you understand like evolution,
Well,
like the
yes,
base premise? Because you're
but,
saying that we had two different ancestors, but I asked you about embryology.
well, again, so, yeah, evolution just backs up abiogenesis. I mean, that's where the whole RNA world, like, theory comes from. So it's all just, mechanical processes, amino acids, and phospholipid bilayers coming together to form the first forms of life, which, we can witness in the fossil record throughout the world when the world was just covered in basically single celled and eventually multicellular organisms. And then those evolved into, multi organ organisms. And it just took off from there. The tree of life expanded rapidly. And then over millions and billions of years, life became more and more complex at incomprehensible timescales, which led eventually to all forms of life we see today. And I think that makes more sense than any sort of spontaneous thing. I don't know what you were referring to by synthetic, like synthetic, whatever you called it. I mean that. I mean you can, synthetic implies like not natural, but
But
evolution in itself is a natural process, and as is any way that you combine genetics, unless you're talking about like in a laboratory where
exactly.
humans. So it's like, I mean, there were no laboratories, before humans invented them. So
So,
Yeah. Mhm.
did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that you was talking about how the cells are formed by these molecules and biolayers, and then you went to mention how single cell organisms change into multicellular organisms, but that was never proven by any scientist in the world, and none of them have came into agreement that eukaryotic cells came from prokaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells have been the only life forms on the planet for millions and millions of years and have evolved with the planet and evolved the planet by condensing sunlight. You see what I'm saying? And they're autotroph species, meaning that they can retain the sun's energy and hold on to it and transmute that into chemical energy and make molecules and create glucose to feed themselves. So how did a species that knew how to do that now change into a different species? You see what I'm saying? A multicellular species, now they're heterotroph, where they need different vitamins and minerals and different genetic information from different organisms to make an organism. You see what I'm saying? That's what you were saying. So we never went from haploids to diploids. So that disproves everything that you just said out your mouth. We never went.
So there is a
Go ahead.
scientific, explanation for how prokaryotic cells gave rise to eukaryotic
What
cells.
is it?
Explain it to us.
Okay, so it's through endosymbiosis.
You were about to say that. So since you cut off my other half, let me cut you off there. Endosymbiosis is saying that prokaryotes engulfed eukaryotes. He just asked you how we went from haploids to diploids. So here's the thing with these scientific theories.
Well, no, it's
You
not
have
that.
No,
okay.
let her finish
Hold
now,
on.
because we let you talk for a long time.
And yes, it is. One engulfs the other, and that's the explanation for how they came about. But that's still in relation to evolution. The base premise of evolution is, how did we go from haploids to diploids? So it's proof in the theory, and what scientists are doing is that they're acknowledging that there are prokaryotes and eukaryotes in existence, but they never said that one evolved into the other, and that it was definitive and proven to have still been happening today. It's a literal theory. Theory literally has it that this is what we're observing, but this is not something that we can see. It's something else I was going to say, but you keep cutting us off, so I keep forgetting. But I just wanted to put attention toward the screen because it says the distinction between prokaryotes and eukaryotes is considered to be the most important distinction. These are two completely different embryological origins. Two completely different origins. Prokaryotes are single cell, meaning that they are a unicellular functioning cell. They get all of their information from one embryological origin, while everybody else is multicellular. Eukaryotes have genetic material from different places. So again, let's not get too far off. Let's go back to the original topic here.
Well, I just want to correct one thing.
And go ahead.
Well, so it's not that a prokaryote engulfed a eukaryotic cell. That's not what endosymbiosis postulates. It's that one prokaryote engulfed another prokaryote, which led to a permanent, like mutually beneficial partnership that evolved into organelles like mitochondria and chloroplasts. And then the host cell became like a nucleus containing eukaryote.
That's what I just said. Okay, here's the thing. Prokaryotes, when we're talking about cell potency and totipotency, right? So the daughter cell, the replication that's made, is already known from the unicellular functioning, the structure of the prokaryote. So you just told me what prokaryotes do, and then you said that they branched off somehow and just somehow magically became a eukaryote. That's the same thing that evolution is saying. You're talking about the daughter cell.
The strongest evidence for this is that the organelles within eukaryotes have their own DNA and their own bacterial origins. They have
That's
their
what
own.
I just said. They're unicellular functioning organisms.
And
So
That's
before
what
we
she
get
said.
so before we get too far off, I think you are a YT man, or you're not BLK. This is a live for BLK people in stating that we are okay. Shut the fuck up, because now you're about to piss me off. We already said no over talking. We let everybody go one at a time. Okay, so let's relax. This is about how all BLK people stem from one embryological origin. That prokaryote origin that you're talking about, that's our origin. Our animals, there are prokaryotes that are still existing here based off of the function of their cells.
This is too funny. You just don't understand.
no, you see,
You keep
You're-
saying we don't understand, but you haven't proven me to be wrong.
now
You
we
just
have
repeated
now
what
we
I
have to
said.
remove you out the thing because you didn't come here. We want people to come here and have a serious conversation. We don't want to come here and laugh when people are in the middle of talking, because you're not really going to grasp what they're saying. We never went from a haploid to a diploid. When prokaryotes interact with each other, they pass on photons like electrons pass on photons, which is how they continuously accumulate data. You see what I'm saying? but it's to build up the cell. It's not to make organelles, because they will tell you prokaryotes do not have internal organelles. We don't have a nucleus. We don't have a membrane. We don't have no other specialized compartments like centrals that is only found in animal cells in our DNA, because we don't have animal DNA. This is why our phenotype doesn't resemble animal DNA. And your phenotype is a representation of your genotype. So if our genotype is not animal DNA, that's why on the phenotypical level, we don't represent that. Y'all hair falls down like a dog. You see what I'm saying? What water, the basic element on the planet, interacts with your body, y'all let off sulfur dioxide, the same thing that they put in the skies with the chemtrails to block in the sun. You naturally let that off. You see what I'm saying? And that's the same thing dogs let off. That's the same thing chimpanzees let off, because you share the same genomics with these animals and different percentage with these animals. All so-called non-black people on the planet, y'all have over 25,000 genes, and 14,000 of those genes are from animals. The rest is from microorganism plants. So there was labs taking place with genetic splicing.
Yeah, that's
you
what
see
I
what I'm
was gonna
saying?
say.
You see what I'm saying? And it's on the stones of Sumerian gods. That's y'all creators who are getting ready to be introduced right now, and your government is ready to do that. So you over here worried about how black people is the same, but you're not worried about how your people is in complete dominance. You're even your own family, y'all not even the same species, because they have different percentages of animals within them, and you have different percentages of animals within you, because your mother has different percentages of animals within her.
Yeah, so
Simple.
the thing is like, I truly don't understand why non-BLK people come in here and like want to talk about stuff that only has to do with us. Why do you want to speak on behalf for BLK people?
For real.
Why? And we're saying so-called, right? We're not these titles, and we already know that. But the thing is that we all stem from the same embryological origin. So I see people coming in and out. I see people really trying to duck and dodge, because y'all know that we talking about genetics here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna wait, just like we did on the backup. I'm gonna just wait, even if it takes. I think we started around this time last time and didn't finish till 3 a.m. on the other account. You just gotta wait for the people to come in and out, in and out. Whoever want to take a shot at this, because a lot of y'all in the last live, the only difference that y'all are talking about is culture. Y'all are saying that the reason why we're not all the same is because of culture. But when I say, what about DNA? They're like, oh, I was like, oh, so this is about feelings. This is about wanting to take ownership of being one thing and trying to use it against somebody else. That's not science. That's not genetics. That's not DNA. So even if it takes all night, you see what I'm saying? Go ahead, Grandma, when you finish loading in.
How you doing, beautiful goddess?
Abundance, welcome in. I'm doing well. How are you? Reflection?
I'm great. I'm balanced.
Good to hear.
I wanted to join because they are. I wanted to just put in my input about black people, copper colored people, whatever you want to call us. Right? We got problems. And we don't want to learn about our problems and solve it. We want to talk about other people's problems and not be able to solve our own. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
And it's some people you can't even help. You can't help our people because they have to realize it themselves.
I think I see what you're saying. It's cognitive dissonance. We ignore the truth, and I haven't posted the last live on YouTube yet. It's a 5.5 hour live of our people just coming in there being cognitive dissonant. Every time when we lock in about the genetics, they leave. We'll talk to people for 30 minutes to an hour, some 2 hours at a time. Everything that they throw out, we scientifically debunk, and then they have nothing else to say. And they get on live the next day. The very next day. The Africans ain't us. The African nations repay reparations to the, like, what the fuck is good with us, man? How is our own people gonna pay you his money?
We're uneducated about finances. Nobody ever taught us as Black people how to pay bills. We just seen the next person pay bills in a way, and we never realized that it's a different way to pay bills. And I'm sitting here like, yo, I'm telling my people, hey, this is how we pay our bills in a remittance. It's called remittance. And I'm like, oh, there's no way. Or they just call me crazy, or they just, they don't want to listen. And it's like, what the fuck? They're going to cause a war where we don't need to go to war. We have it right here. We just never read about what our social security card was, or what it is to be a citizenship, like have a citizenship and all that shit. We just never read about it. So we're just out here complaining about something that we have in our hands. We just can go and collect. We can go do it whenever we want.
The thing about it is, though, we keep giving energy to a system that's designed for our destruction. So it's like, I understand what we saying about the bills and the system, or the education system, but the thing is this was all created to keep us in the frequency that we are literally at. So we actually got to get to the point to where we rise above bills, rise above a system that's been designed to literally have us in the state that we're in, which is separate, beefed out. And when you're saying uneducated, you mean just not self-aware, no knowledge of self. We forgot who we were. So we were a people that built pyramids, built megalithic structures, but today we're paying taxes. So I wanted to put this on the screen.
Wow.
I seen one of our brothers was live about this today. He said reparations 2026, 24 trillion a year for 10 years. He said he wanted to be tax-free, freedom to rebuild. Like, we didn't build this system on our backs.
And that's what I'm trying to get to you to understand. Once we read about what we have in our hands. So when you were you just said something about the people and the education, right? This is what I'm trying to get to. If we learn about what we have, we'll see that we have it. And I'm not saying paying bills. We're not taking money from going to work to put it on the bills. The bills is already, if we're educated about bills, we'll understand that bills are already paid.
I understand where you're coming from.
That's what I'm saying. So we'll be able to have a life that we need to be able to focus on our real purpose of being here.
I normally would push back. The only reason why I'm not going to is because it depends on the motive. If we could come together and manifest and put together like steps to navigate our way out of this system, then I don't have a problem with that. But we're not doing that. We're taking steps to stay in this system, to just not pay bills, or just not to pay loans and stuff like that. We still want to be here. We still want our children to be medically and psychologically evaluated by these people. The same people that was wearing our skin, putting them on shoes, cigar cases, book covers, and purses. You see what I'm saying? We're asking for free healthcare from. The mental state that we're in, we're asking for free healthcare from these people that put us in this state. So it's like we're not understanding what, like, the core of the issue is that we can't fuck with these people. This is not about coming together with them, because we were never supposed to come in contact with them. We've never been able to live harmoniously with these people. So once we get them out of the way, all we have is to focus on each other. Yeah.
And let me say this, because I totally agree with you. But once I went deeper into research of what my great grandparent had did, his name is Pap Singleton, and he was one of the ones that actually helped build this type of system that we have. And that's why I was like, okay, you got to be more to it. I went to go look about the Social Security and all that shit, because that's the information that's going to give us the freedom to how our ancestors built this system for us. It's what I'm trying to say is our families were educated on like everything that we needed to know to be financially free. That's all I'm trying to say. And we just haven't went to go and look for it. We have not.
Yeah. I understand where our brothers and sisters are coming from with understanding who their grandparents were because they left clues. But you got to understand that our people, we've been shrinking in frequency. If you look at everything that's happened on the planet, to the animals, all the way up to us, this is about 200,000 years of us not being connected to who we are in the planet. So if it was 60 years ago, we were not operating the way we were supposed to. We were still thinking we were the same as these people and that we should sit at the same table as them. So that's what I'm saying. Even if it was Granny, even if it was Papa or uncles, that don't mean that we was vibing right at that time though. Just because they left hidden clues, that was to stay in the system because they've been tricking and changing the narratives every generation. So we can't really blame each other. You know what I'm saying? They change the narrative every generation. So it's like DNA is passed down through, epigenetics. We can see that when we're talking about things like generational trauma,
Right.
things like that. So it's like, imagine you passing down a way of thinking that by the time that offspring becomes an adult, that's not even the way that the world look no more. That's what we're dealing with. So that's why that shit don't work. Because the system looks nothing like how it did during that time, like it does today. Because guess what? It's rigged. So when I had that on the board about those reparations, let me put that up here again because I gotta lock in with my people on this.
So you're saying a war would be?
No, I never said anything about war. It
So
never
what?
came out of my mouth.
What
I
would
said
we
we need
do
to
to
take
help
steps to manifest our way out.
to
Just like we
manifest?
built this system, that's manifestation. Just like we are manifesting wanting to sit at the table with them, we can manifest not needing them. Because the moment that we came in contact with them, all they did was give us diseases. So
Right.
we're talking about WAR, but the WAR was biological. And they tell us that all the time. Biological warfare
Yeah.
is what we're dealing with. Smallpox, these different venereal diseases, that's the literal reason why we think we're not the same. It's because of antigens, parasites, toxins in the body. The water is carcinogenic. You're bathing in aquamated water.
Yes.
I don't think we understand what aquamated water is.
Hey,
If we
listen.
understood the truth about what these people are really doing to us and our planet, you'd give a fuck about a damn healthcare.
Yeah. And then being mortician, we drain the BLOOD in the sewage, by the way.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and it's
So the
bad.
sister, so y'all hear the sister telling you what they do? We tell y'all this all the time. I haven't been live in a while, but we tell y'all this all the time.
Yep.
That they take the unalive bodies, and this is what you're bathing in, man.
Yup.
Carcinogens. Let me show you this man that owns a water plant.
Yeah. And they
His
put
name is
worm they put
it's not
worm
fit to
eggs
the
in
screen. Hold on.
they put worm eggs in the water too.
Yeah, worm eggs.
Worm eggs, blood and
Parasites.
pus, yeah,
Yeah,
blood and pus cells from cows, all of that.
I'm finna sing.
My question is, do y'all really think black people are not behind any of these things that's happening as well?
Oh, absolutely. We know our people have a hand in it. We talk about the celebrities all the time. We talk about, our people that participate in these rituals. I don't know if it'll flag the live if I say the word. So we know that our people are, that's why we're saying we're selling each other out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you need reparations, you got to understand we're on every landmass. And the Asiatic slave trade is not talked about. The Arab slave trade is not talked about. They have us in chains all over the globe. Everywhere you know there to be a continent, we're slaves on.
Yeah.
So even though they showing you videos of Chinese people saying, and you think made in China that they doing it, our people is on that continent. And if they treating their people like that, you got to know what they doing behind closed doors. The problem is the Asian man wants you to look at it through his lens. The white tea man wants you to look at your brother or sister through another lens. That's why this Africa versus American shit is only happening here. If you go to another continent, they not doing that. They struggling with something else because the Arab man got them focused on something else. So we got to understand our number one problem is dismantling this shit. We got to hold each other accountable. And so when you're saying that, you know, it's our people in the background that's doing it, of course. But when we go on TikTok, you can see that we're selling each other out. Oh, you got to pay me reparation. African nations need to pay us reparations. That's, you want me to sell you out
All
in
black
exchange
people,
for money.
all
Like,
all so-called black people in this system right now is selling each other out. So we looking for, who is there a group of black people doing this? We're the ones doing it, because guess what? 8 million children and 70 to 80% look like us is going missing. And look what we're on live talking about. Look what we wake up every day talking about on social media. Look what we wake up every day and go do for the eukaryotic cell in his system. You see what I'm saying? We just fueling their system as our
yeah.
children are just going missing for the same DNA that we trying to inform our people about.
Okay. So what is your first step of, like, you know, getting to that?
Studying the planet and knowing yourself, because the more you actually learn about this planet, you learn about different herbs they're not telling you about, different chemicals, minerals that's abundant. You don't need an electric company, you can create electricity. So learning,
Yep.
literally, and then sharing, you know what I'm saying, getting back to trading, not just talking about not being in this system. How can we rely more on each other? Just needs to be more of a discussion, because we're not having those discussions. So our brain is literally manifesting through neuroplasticity, us staying here. It's a biological thing. It's not even just, oh, let's be spiritual and mystic about it. No, like, we not studying the brain and they are. So that's why they're using us to manifest what they want for the system, and we don't see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Can I ask you this question? Because you said something about trading, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how the currency and how it's working, and how? Okay, I dig deep into the way that they set up the currency, right? It's the same thing as trading, but it's like it is trading. How I looked at what they have out there for us to go and look at for financial freedom, is set up that way, as in trading, but we just don't know how to use it. And you were saying that about the trading. I'm like, okay, well, we're already doing that. We just not educated on what they're trading right now. What is the trade? Because in 1933, it used to be silver and gold, but now they got rid of that. It's negotiable instruments, because the dollar is a Federal Reserve note. You'll see it, right? And they'll tell you what a Federal Reserve note is, a promissory note. And bills are the same thing as a promissory note. You get what I'm saying? So if we learn about this, we'll be able to do what we're supposed to be doing as far as trading.
If it doesn't involve us being in this system and it's gonna help us end up to not be here and fully rely on each other, I'm all for it.
That's what it is.
If we're gonna stay here and stay complacent and want to want their money, want their system, because basically what it sounds like is you've cracked the code on their system, like you found what's the word I'm looking for,
Rabbit
a
hole?
loophole. Yeah, like a loophole. But
Yeah.
if that loophole doesn't push you out of it, you're gonna stay in that loop too.
Yes.
So it's like, in order for us to use that, their system got to exist. So we got to know how to exist outside of that too. We also got to be having discussions about when this system falls, how we need to be moving. So as long as it's that, I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? Abundance, y'all, gratitude, and welcome in.
And that's what type of mindset I have as a
share.
goddess, right? I thought, because I used to play a lot of video games back then. I was thinking of like a game type of strategy. Like, okay, if I don't know about the rules and the how to get over things inside of a video game, because they tell you about how to play a video game, you got to read the rules before you play it. If you don't, you're gonna have to figure it out as you're going through the game. And I was looking at how my life is. I'm figuring out life as I'm living life. But if I read about life in multiple ways, finance, all that shit, you know what I mean? Spiritually, all of it, I'll be able to learn the game to win the game, because they look at the system is looked at like a game. That's what I'm saying. Literally.
Yeah, The Game of Life, written by a YT lady. You see what I'm saying? That's a real thing. If you understand how they've constructed the system, how they've structured it, you'll see that there's nobody really in charge. They're governing your mental.
Exactly.
They're in charge of your mind. And that's what I'm saying. If they have you, everything that they've placed in front of you is controlling what you do, you have to do inner work to not rely on this system, which is a mental shift first, that a lot of people don't want to do.
They gotta be
I,
alone for that. They can't have
yeah,
no
like
partner, nothing. I'm telling you.
facts. And even if you have a partner, you can feel the loneliest or still incomplete if you're not locked in with yourself, because our planet, like, you know, a lot of people don't want to believe that Earth is in the cosmos. So when our people are like, oh, I don't do outer space. Okay, where's Earth? Let's talk about it. Where's Earth? And just like we're receiving, you know, the heat from the sun's rays, there's other planets that are in our system as well, and we receive their energy as well. Scientists talk about it all the time. That's why there's a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, a Thursday. That's why these things exist in the first place, is because they have a deeper meaning. It's based off of the planetary energy that we're sending. So the thing is like, we got to start understanding like how deep this actually goes, and not wanting to stay stuck like where we're at. You got to make those mental shifts, which require learning. You see what I'm saying? Like, we got to learn. Go ahead, the Bold Lion label. Welcome in.
Hey, what's up?
Abundance.
Abundance, how you doing?
I don't know. Black people globally are the same. No,
And what makes you think that they're not the same?
that's culturally they're not the same.
Culture.
Like when I came to the U.S. 12, I'm from Nigeria. No, black people not the same.
Believe it or not, y'all are the same. The way you were taught in schools and how you were structuralized in your what do you call it? Not capitalism, but you were captured as well as us. You don't even know about your history and about the people that live in the South that be dressed up and all in the desert and shit. You don't even know about that. They probably teach you about them being so cannibalism, they're cannibal or whatever. They probably tell you that these people are bad, don't they?
I have no
Your
idea
own
what
people.
you're talking about.
Your own people that live in Africa in different area.
So I wanted to respond to you, brother. So you're saying that culture is what separates us, but culture is cultivation. That's what the sister is really trying to tell you right now.
Yep.
She's saying that the YT man, the Arab man, the Asian man are working together to create a lens for us to view each other through. That's what she's saying.
I don't think they have anything.
They're cultivating or training or conditioning you to think a certain way. You see what I'm saying? To keep you focused on extremely low frequencies. A species that was mentally connected to the universe, you see what I'm saying, is now connected to phones, is now connected to cars, all of this visual and sound pollution, all of these different viruses, all of that is slowing our electromagnetism down. So our culture as a species on the planet is electromagnetism, is light, because our bodies are made to utilize light, and that can be proven through the science of cymatics.
Yeah. So we got to understand that this whole thing between the so-called African Americans and Africans is conditioning. You can go to any of our other land masses where our people are at. They're not having this discussion.
Mm-hmm.
They're socialized and are dealing with different social barriers, social constructs.
Because y'all are different.
We're not
Y'all are
different
European.
embryologically.
European
We're
black.
not different. You're talking about culture, which is cultivation, colonization. He made you think this way. He's reduced you into your thinking, right?
Even
You
on
can
the
see
continent, we're different. Different language, different cultures, different eats, different foods, different everything. So we're
Okay.
not all the
So
same.
talking and eating,
so
two
talk
things like language. We shouldn't even be speaking none of the linguistics that would be presented to us because it causes audible friction inside of your temporal lobe and auditory cortex. You see what I'm saying? So you can't manifest the reality that you want to because your voice is atoms. You see what I'm saying? And you're talking about what we're eating. We're eating monkeys in Africa and we're eating pigs in America.
it's the
You see what I'm
same.
saying? We're eating animals,
I've
the
never
same
eaten no
animals. Hold on
monkey
for
in
a
Africa.
second. Pigs,
Why would you say
Cows,
some
chickens,
goofy stuff like
cows.
that?
We are all so-called black people are obese in over here a lot because of the seed oils and everything that they're putting in their food. It's all
exactly.
to disrupt our endocrine systems and our glymphatic and lymphatic system. So you can't lie. A lot of so-called black people in America and around the world, we all have problems with blood issues because our blood is tainted
Y'all
with antigens. You see what I'm saying? So when you're talking about we have different cultures, that was how you were cultivated to think. You were cultivated to eat the cow, to eat alligator, to eat pig, to eat chicken. We were cultivated over there to eat all of that because
What
before we
else are you
came into
gonna eat?
contact,
You
before we
think
came
white
into
people
contact,
made you eat
before we came into
chicken?
contact, before we came into contact with any eukaryotic cell, any non so-called black people around the world, we were not eating nothing but bioelectric fruits and vegetables and the sun
I
and
think they
water.
were eating
You see
chicken,
what I'm
bro.
saying? So this you cannot prove to
Bro,
me
the
that.
chick
Mhm. Go ahead.
I think they were eating goats and chickens, man, and cows, bro.
Okay, listen to what he said. He said before we came in contact with these people, we were eating bioelectric fruits, vegetables, the sun, and clean water. Look
Yep.
at where you are today. Are you next to clean water? Do you bathe in clean water?
The
Is
water
I'm
was
clean water
probably
coming
was
out of the
dirty.
sink?
I'm gonna have to disagree with that because he got tribes still in Africa that are not cannibals, but yeah, they
F1
are
in the chat,
cannibals.
y'all. F1, I don't know if that. Okay, the thing is, they're not. Okay, I'm not understanding what's not being clear here.
Mhm.
Because
Before we
it's
came in
tribes
contact, because
that's
before,
showing.
hold on, before we came in contact with these people, we were not performing what you just said. We were not eating goats, chickens.
Yeah.
We were not eating any of that.
Oh, okay.
We
I'm
can
talking
look
about
at.
in Africa.
Okay, hold on for a second.
Let her finish.
We're all over the globe. You see how I'm not. They're not even just doing that there. Our people are doing shit that they're not supposed to all over the globe. Do you understand you're eating them in America? Fast food?
Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Do you
I
understand
said
what I'm saying,
Damn,
it's
sister?
what is
The
eating
tribes
fast
that's
them?
food,
already been
What you
discovered,
guys
McDonald's.
talking
Hold
about? You
on,
that's
guys
hold
are
on,
already been
y'all. We only
crazy.
do
removed.
one at a time. Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. You
Crazy.
are if you're eating fast food, you're doing the same thing as the tribes you're talking about. That's what I'm saying.
I'm
It's
doing the
in the
same
food.
But you just talked about black people being
thing.
only eating, electronic
No, I
whatever.
said before we came in contact with these people, we were only
They were
eating
eating goats. They were
bioelect.
eating
Okay, I'm gonna
elephants.
come clean. I'm not gonna deal with disrespect. Okay, wait until I get done, and then I'll let you go. So I'm responding to the sister right now. What he said was before we came in contact with these people, we only ate bioelectric foods, fruits, and vegetables, the sun, and we were in connection with clean water. So if you look at the state of our people today, it is not going to look like what we were doing 200,000 years ago.
Okay, I got you. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, how is that a fact if it's tribes in Africa that's been there for, I don't know, you know what I mean? They've been there for since anybody's been in Africa, I feel like. But they are eating meat. They've been eating meat. So I don't know if that's
How
Like
long?
Yeah, for how long?
they've been as a tribe. I don't know. You've seen Speed. He was visiting that part of Africa where they were just eating. They were like literally tribalized. They had huts and everything, and they literally were eating meat all in a circle and everything. Like they were eating meat.
Today? You're talking about something that just happened like the other day?
I haven't been to Africa yet, but I do want to. And I don't know when he went to Africa as far as Speed, but it was proven that these people are eating meat as black people, as
Okay, but
Africans.
you said they've been doing it for a while. We asked you how long, and you said Speed has a video of them doing it when he just went on the tour.
And
So
this
we
is a
said how
tribe.
long, and tribes doesn't mean that it's been here for 400,000 years.
Yeah.
Tribes is new, just
Mm-hmm.
like cities and states, just like towns, just like we had a global civilization of so-called black people, of solar magnetic people all over the planet that were connecting through pyramids that align with stars. We all had pineal glands the size of quarters or big tennis balls because we were actually manifesting our reality through light and heart and brain coherence. So
I'm just trying to say that when we say how tribes, you have to understand, what does it take to be considered a a tribe? Is that
300 people
okay?
in
So
America. But I don't know about Africa.
so that's their standard, correct? So that's what I'm saying. Tribes have nothing to do with who we were before we came in contact with these people.
yeah,
How did those
Wait,
people,
what?
how did we go from being a global civilization to where there are now tribes of only 300 people?
yeah.
And we're all over the globe. So that's why I'm saying I understand where you're coming from. It's still a byproduct of colonization.
If
They
that's the case, then
we've
that
been
would like
all right,
contradict
I
about us
can't.
Indians.
Okay, listen.
Hold on. I want to get to the next guest too. 1 second,
Mhm.
sister. Go ahead, user 666.
So yeah, I've been listening to you guys, and I agree with the global colonization, the global system that we had as Black people. Like we were unified at one point, and it's like when you look into our past, like even in specifically Africa, like we have been invaded so many times, and this is like on a global level, which is why we're all separated and everything. And it's like when you look at a lot of cultural food in Africa from different countries, you can see like a lot of the food is like plant-based, but then it's just like meat is just slapped on top of it. And it's definitely a case of like the more we were invaded and the more these people were like eating us, being violent towards us, raping us, all of this stuff. These are like trauma was passed down in us. And then we started slowly having the same actions. Like we started doing these same things towards each other over time. And then obviously in this current time, like the people will spin it and like make it look like we're the ones that are violent and we're all of this. But it's just a case of us like our frequency has been reduced. So we're in like the worst version. We're acting out as the worst versions of ourselves. And we need to like realign and heal like through all the trauma and like stop the whole division thing. Like we are all composed of the same material. And then like over time, like we would break away from all these bad habits, like the eating meat. Like it isn't natural for us to do that. It's something that we've become used to from how we were colonized in all different parts of the world. And it seemed like it's our norm that we eat meat, but that's not true. We're like plant-based beings, all of us. So yeah.
Facts, sister.
Facts.
Facts, mother of life. You
Yeah.
cooking.
Gratitude for saying that, because we got to understand, if we did, and I'm gonna let you go in just a second, King. I just wanted to say this one thing. If we actually, if a group of people did something for 200,000 years, you think it wouldn't be second nature to them? So that's what we're dealing with. Abundance for that response, user. Go ahead, King.
Oh shit.
He not supposed to be up. You didn't mean to come up here?
No, I messed up. My bad.
Okay, no problem. So that's the thing, y'all. Beautifully said. I was literally, I've thought of that before, how our food just looks like we've just added meat to it. You know what I'm saying? So I understand where you're coming from with that. Are people really ducking this topic for real?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why we gotta sit here and wait. If it's 3 a.m. again, then it's 3 a.m. again. But welcome in, y'all. Tap and share. Even if you think this topic is someone may disagree with it, that's a mutual friend, send it to them anyway. Let's have a discussion. Let's understand like where we are psychologically with each other. Like when we say that we're all the same, we stem from the same embryological origin. So notice that this is our second or third live, and everybody keeps saying what makes us different is culture. That shit don't have nothing to do with genetics. You know what I'm saying?
Like they basically saying, oh, what makes me different is how I was colonized here and how you was colonized there. That's what makes me different. Nothing about DNA. They don't care nothing about DNA. How many times do you hear them say, oh, DNA is not reliable, DNA doesn't matter, but DNA is what makes up your matter as a being. I'm confused about that. So I just want our people to understand, like, they brought us these meats because they are made up of the meats. They were graping us. These genetics sit inside of us. And we got to remove them by eating sunlight, by eating bioelectric foods. We got to leave the hybrid foods alone, the animal products alone. You're showering with animal fats and water filled with worm eggs and aquamated water. You see what I'm saying? You're drinking fluoride water and you're an electromagnetic being. So we really want to hear our people's thoughts and visions on why they think we're not the same. Because it's slowing us down as a species. You're lying to children. You're lying to the next generation that are going to shape our future. You're lying. And that's why y'all run away. You see how many, you see how two of them just ran away? Y'all couldn't say anything else.
They just,
we're your brothers, your mother, your sisters. That's your sister. Y'all just came in here and bonded. You just gonna leave. That's not respect, yo. And y'all want to actually unite. That's not real.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We used to share information. You came here talking about economics.
Yeah.
What our people did and what we do on a cellular level, on a quantum level, is share information.
Facts. That's why it's pyramids in so-called America and so-called Africa and all over the globe, because we shared the information. We worked together. And we talk about that all the time.
Facts.
The Cretans worked with the Minoans, worked with the Phoenicians, worked with the Egyptians, worked with the Hopi, worked with the Olmecs. We shared information.
Yep.
The same figurines. Like, it's not even just the megalithic structures. What about the small pottery? What about the small tools that can channel energy? That's what I'm saying. We sitting here going back and forth about, oh, it's more pyramids over here, so this the motherland. But does anybody know why the pyramids exist? Why are we not talking about why they even exist? Do you even know what they were used for?
Yes, tell us one function of the pyramid. Just one.
Just one. Tell us one functionality of the pyramids.
How was it electromagnetically used?
Exactly.
You don't
because
even know.
We don't even know. And the thing is if it's more so-called pyramids and one landmass over the other, did anybody ever stop to think that maybe it's supposed to fucking be like that? Did anybody ever stop to think that also Earth's rotation was knocked off 40.4 degrees? So what you think is America and so-called Africa may not even be that. The land don't know that you're calling it these names, y'all. We sitting here telling oh, that landmass, or the other land, motherland. I seen somebody live about that shit today. How you're disrespecting the mother? You saying this land is hers and the rest not? Who's you gotta have been reduced in your thinking to have once used 100 billion of your neurons and to only be using 2 to 5% of your brain?
Wow.
Being on these phones is 2%. Walking, jogging, playing basketball, football, 2 to 5% of your brain. And you think you're on top of the world. So you got to ask yourself, how did you go from building pyramids to being on phones with carpal tunnel? It doesn't make sense, man. So the thing is, the pyramids were built to connect and align with the stars. Did we forget that?
To evolve the planet.
Did we forget that these are facts? To evolve the planet. Did we forget that these channel energy? So our people have always been a people of balance. Balance don't mean 50-50. Sometimes it's 80-20. You got to look at nature.
Mm-hmm.
So just because you see pyramids in one place more than the other, you need to understand why. So when I ask y'all, what's the difference between this land and that? Y'all can't give me 10 facts about Earth's crust. Y'all can't give me 10 facts about the soil and its composition, the mineral composition. Y'all can't give me 10 facts about the rock formations in Tibet.
And y'all want to call yourselves spiritual, but the whole earth behaves like the entire womb of our woman's womb.
You not
But you
studying
spiritual,
yourself.
but you spiritual? That doesn't make sense. So that's how I'm like, how can you just cancel out other parts of the land, other parts of your womb, other parts of your body? Like, oh, I don't care about that. I just care about this one right here. Oh, I don't care about my brain. I just care about my heart. I don't care about my liver. I just care about how my heart beats. That's how we live in.
That's what we
living in sections. You see what I'm saying? We view our body in sections when it's one body. It's one river of power, one flow of power, of electromagnetic power, that invisible matter that creates physical matter through alchemy.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? That's what we are. You see what I'm saying? And we have star seeds that come here, have the capacity and ability to use 100% of their brain. And guess what? We allow them to get 33 shots of 200 chemicals that disrupt their immune system, their endocrine system, their pituitary glands. You see what I'm saying? We send 25 million of our children to their schools, their scholars, to get taught by them. Like, is unnatural how we have our children living, and then we think somebody's gonna come save us when we are the ones that have to guide and show our children the light of our inner selves, of their inner selves, because our inner selves is what projects outer.
Facts. Oh, beautifully said. And y'all cooking in the comments. It might not be a lot of our people in here right now. You gotta wait until the night goes on. For some reason, around 3 a.m. our time, it's jumping. I don't know what be going on. Like, y'all be up 3 a.m. It's like they start at 3 and I don't know when they end. I guess they don't. But anyways, we just gonna be patient. Y'all is really cooking in the comments. NY, I see you. Keep putting that that knowledge in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that disagrees, or if you agree with this prompt, feel free to come up. See, it's very vague for us to say we the same. It's a very vague thing. I really want to see which direction are you gonna take. They think like, oh, we're not the same. Which direction are you gonna take? And they always say culture. So when we dismantle the culture and realize that we've been cultivated to eat corn, greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, we've been cultivated to eat these things. You see what I'm saying? We've been cultivated to sit there and watch memes and TikToks. We've been cultivated at this point to look at each other and view each other differently. But does that stop our embryological origin from being what it is? Does that mean that we don't stem from the same origin? So the white tea man came in here earlier, was like, oh, the Khoisan people aren't. What about embryological origin? Oh, well, when it comes to evolution and prokaryotes and eukaryotes, right, those two are two completely different origins. Well, I don't believe in spontaneous gen, but does the eukaryotic cell exist?
Yep. The synthetic biology exists. They have documentaries, easily you can find them on YouTube, on the internet, about it. How they have genetically modified organisms growing throughout different portions of Earth, slowing down her rotation. You see what I'm saying? Feeding us poison, feeding the animals poison, making 70% of wildlife endangered. Like, you don't see? It's just a GMO environment that they got you in. You don't live in cities and states. You live in forests. You live in jungles. You don't live in them. You don't live in that.
Somebody just followed me just to say nope and left. Okay, so somebody said cultivated or influence. And like whoever, let's see, truth, the brother said both. Culture is influence. It's just one and the same. You see what I'm saying? One and the same. That's just what user just explained. You see what I'm saying? They also have to influence the nature of your when he was talking about how they got you looking at just the heart. You see what I'm saying? They got you looking at but they're calling it a heart, they're calling it a brain, they're calling it an elbow, they're calling it fingertips.
Facts.
How do these things function, right? How do these things function? And you have heart cells, you got spleen cells, you got brain cells, right? You have cells in different parts of your body, but guess what? They stem from one embryological origin. They all come from one place or multiple. It depends on who we're talking about. And when it comes to our people, it comes from one totipotent stem cell. Cell potency.
Yeah.
The highest potency to be able to replicate itself, to make the most abundant daughter cells, replications of itself, self-regeneration. That's what we do. So when you're saying the Khoisan is different than the Nigerian, you don't understand that the BOK woman can create 48 different shades of herself. It's not that it's not that this is Khoisan and this is Nigerian. That's what he's calling us. These are different shades, different expressions of one mother, which is all of us put together. All of our wombs put together is the earth that we're in. We just not studying the functionality of our wombs. We don't know the difference between the pelvic floor, the difference when it comes to our cells, how they replicate, how they reproduce. We don't know anything about antigens and how they affect our red blood cells. They're saying that, let me see, somebody wants to come up. They're literally saying that so-called Africans, go ahead, Renee.
Yeah, all niggers are the same. I agree.
So they're literally saying that Neanderthals have 40%, or excuse me, that so-called Africans have 40% Neanderthal DNA, right? Which are YT people, correct? Right? And then we're in a so-called America, and they're saying that we have 30% European DNA. I said, those are the white people. How the fuck are we sitting here saying Spider-Man pointing fingers at each other like, you got Neanderthal, you got European, you got Neanderthal, it's the same thing, but does anybody understand why they're even saying that? Because they're saying you have Neanderthal and you have European, but do you look like the Neanderthals and do you look like the Europeans? So then let's take a look at the red blood cells. How do antigens affect the red blood cells? And when the red blood cells become affected, what's the first thing? How do you notice it? Through phenotype. So what you're looking at is, oh, they different from us. You don't even know. I said, this shit deep. They looking at it just like, oh, you look different. Do you know why? We got to understand DNA, man. We got to understand we not vibing like we supposed to. We got to understand our planet don't look like it's supposed to. You're not supposed to go outside and see buildings and shit.
Yep.
You're not supposed to see YT people in Arabs and shit. You're not supposed to see, we were never supposed to procreate with these people, and now there's so-called Mexicans, Italians, Cubanos, byproducts of hybridization mixing with these people. Most of the shit that we talking about on this app aren't even supposed to be a question. It's not even supposed to be up for discussion.
Yeah.
So when we say that we're globally the same, that's about cell potency. That's about biology. You see what I'm saying? That's about that. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody said, the colonizer labeled us black. Do we have black skin? No, facts.
So what does that tell you about his field of vision?
Thank you. Does he have this? Had we been recorded to have the same field of vision? No.
Different genetics, different eyes.
Yep, different fields of vision. This is how we're able to see and operate more within our peripheral vision. This is why we're more sentient within our bodies. We can perceive more because we're taking in more information. Different protein synthesis, different like when we're talking about they have animal proteins. Essentially, what they're saying is that proteins are amino acids, same thing, interchangeable. These are the building blocks to who you are. So when we say animal proteins, you got to understand we're not composed of the same building blocks. That is why you are able to smell when they get wet, they let off a smell because the what is it? The lipids are responsible for letting information go in and out of the cell. So you're literally smelling their genetics. Like, I don't understand. Like, we not understanding this shit, man.
And the thing is, again, they have 14,000 genes of animal genomics. They're 14,000 animals they share genomics with, and 25,000 in total with the rest with other organisms. Think about that. Just to be alive. Man. And then this organism cannot take the natural rays of the sun to live.
Yeah.
We can't keep accepting this trauma and poison and abuse and pass it on to our children. We cannot do that.
Facts.
So if you're asking what's my purpose, what do I do? Like, how do you feel, or how do you feel about the information that's going on into our children?
Facts. Somebody said the original English people were so-called black. England started in America in 927. The original English people were black. So if they were originally black, they weren't originally English, correct? How did we get to the point of being called English or black? That's what this live is about. All right. Somebody said YT is a GMO version of black. No, they're not. They are a completely different species. That's what we mean when we say prokaryotes and eukaryotes. They have a completely different origin. Their origin is spontaneous generation, which is done through introgression.
Yep.
This is where you take genetic material from one species and you introgress the genes with species B or C or D or however many different species there are. And what you do is you build up a gene sequence by repeated backcrossing and backcrossing the genetics of grabbing, they use the bacterium CRISPR, right? That tech to grab bacteria to actually start off a gene sequence. When they grab that DNA, it's cut with protein 9 is their tech that they use. That's why it's called CRISPR Cas9. Cas9 is how they cut so-called snake DNA so that they can insert so-called rabbit DNA. And that back crossing is what's going to build up a gene sequence to now have what they call chimeras and shit, where you have a half snake, half rabbit. That's why these things exist in nature, y'all. What a cat has snake DNA. That's why cats don't have the same, they have slits in their eyes. You don't see that with lions, tigers, no other prokaryotic, natural felines, but you see it in cats, and cats are domesticated and are hybridized animals.
Yep.
Right? So if the cat has been on the planet for a very long time, right? They try to say that the cat is ancient. Somebody has been tampering with genetics for a long ass time then. Exactly. If broccoli is a hybridized vegetable, somebody has been tampering with genetic material for a long time. So that's what I'm saying. When the sister was up here and we were having that dialogue, when grandma was up here, we were having that discourse, we're in two different frequencies, two different so-called time periods with this, where that's why I kept asking her, if it's going to help us manifest a way out, then fine. But we're not trying to get out because she's asking, how do we do that? So you were trying to keep us here. That's why we got to understand raising the consciousness of our people, even if it's 5 people in here, 12 people, 13, whatever it is. Whenever we used to go live or during the day when it's 300, it doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? Even if you only know one portion of this, but you understand it in and out, you need to be sharing it with your people.
Yes.
And I just wanted to say, I understand that we go live about it. We have a YouTube, we have other platforms. We've had other platforms that we talked about this on. I'm not saying that everybody has to do what we're doing by no, means, right? Because I also talk about how we have different pieces to the puzzle, right? But we need to be sharing this information. If you share it through art, let that be your thing. That's your angle of light, right? If you share it through the music, let it truly be high vibrational. Let it be tuned to the right frequency so that it's pleasant to the ear, literally to the auditory cortex, permeates throughout the temporal lobe through the rest of your brain. That's why you can feel it in every portion of your body. Yep. So when your music is perceived, How do you want people to literally feel? That's what I'm talking about. Right? We got to talk about it, share the truth, and not be afraid. You see what I'm saying? I remember it was some brothers and sisters that we were connecting with. They too afraid to show their face. They too afraid to talk about this stuff on their own. So I always want to make sure that I'm encouraging, because I know that when we post this on YouTube, it's other brothers and sisters that's not in here, but they post on their Instagram or they post it on. I see y'all and I value that. You know what I'm saying? I know I don't have every platform and I can't reach out to all of y'all, but my other half, he be showing me, you know what I'm saying? I don't have the Instagram anymore, so I be seeing it and I value that. The people that see it, thank you for sharing it, and thank you for also using your throat chakra, your frequency to put the message out. Never stop. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever get discouraged. If you got to I had to take 4 months off. That's why I haven't went live. You know what I'm saying? I had to take 4 months off and then come back. But the whole time that I was off, I read 6 to 8 books, right? Still sharpening my inner voice, still working on who I am. You know what I'm saying? So when I come back, I'm sharper for my people. So that's how we got to be. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're not really about unity. Even the people that saying the African Americans, or we got to all stick together, they're not sticking together. They don't even speak to each other in the grocery stores, at work, walking down the street. You see what I'm saying? We got brothers out here charging, $20 a lock. Wild shit. The middleman, the money. If you look at the money, it's a white man literally in the middle of the money.
Crazy.
So that's the reason why we really can't help each other the way that we want and need to. Because it's a man standing in the middle of us. Literally, you got to have that tender, that money. So when we get outside of that, right, you really don't have a problem for doing her hair for free, for doing the brother's locks for free, or for giving the art, just sharing. We really don't have a problem with that, because we love being on the receiving end, feeling, especially us as women, right? We like feeling good about things. Those things create dopamine, right? So that's what it is. It's the money. Is like, I gotta get this money because I gotta pay rent. Do you?
Yep.
So just like we can manifest trips to Cancun, we can manifest a better generation for, a more sound generation for our children, or for the next generation. So we not talking about bills and shit. We got to talk about bills because we still think that because you want to pay bills, and if you're saying that, you got to do through remittance, that's basically saying this system got to exist in order for you to do the loophole. You see what I'm saying? So are you going to take steps to branch away? Are we going to use that to our advantage? Because that's not what y'all be talking about.
Yeah.
Y'all be talking about 4-day cruises. They talking about let's go back to it. Let me put it up here again. I just want to see it. Tax free. They want to be tax free for just 10 years. So you want to be tax free for 10 years only.
And they don't even have that long.
They don't even have that long. The system is not going to be in place for that. Tax free for only 10 years. So is it really free? Do you understand where I'm coming from? Freedom to rebuild. We built this nation on all this shit on our backs. What are we finna rebuild? Because I can guarantee you, if you've been conditioned for 200,000 years to be a certain way, y'all are going to get that money and build a system just like this one.
Yep.
You're going to build a black prison.
Yep.
It's finna be the craziest. We not understanding, man. Political power. You want to be a part of the same political system that's imprisoning you. I'm not understanding that. Go
Can I
ahead,
add something
user.
as well?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah.
I feel like even like people saying the reparation thing, knowing how things have repeated in history, there's gonna be corruption. That money's not even gonna be used on that. Like there's
Yeah.
gonna be like a bunch of rubbish built with that money. It's not gonna change anything.
Literally. So we gotta
Like
understand. Yep, facts. Go
literally,
ahead.
I don't understand how we just don't get back into like the community element of things. Like you said before, if one person's doing someone's hair, then the other person is looking after someone's kids, and then other people are working together to maybe build homes from like material from the earth. Like, it's
Come on
so
now.
simple because there'll be no money involved. Everyone's exchanging time and resources and working together to build something. Like, there'll be no money involved.
Facts. Well said. When
Right.
we have children, you know what I'm saying? We refrain from saying kids because kids are baby goats. We don't have animal DNA, but they literally do. So they have kids. But literally that was well said. Someone else is looking after the children, or we're doing here and looking after the children while our men are building. You see what I'm saying? Sharing resources is perfect because that's sharing information. Why is this soil or clay able to hold up better than this one? Right? What makes this color the way that it is? You know? So that's literal sharing information, and that's sharing consciousness. That's connecting with who we are. So I value that. Let's see. Somebody said we're lost in the concept of ownership. Facts.
Individualism,
Man.
ownership, consumerism, that got us in a mental spiral,
Y'all
man.
in here talking today. It might be low views, but I'm telling you, y'all be in here talking for real. And I value that. Like, especially when it's just us, like when it's just a few of us, y'all be in here sharing knowledge for real, and I value that. We have a sense of ownership. We want to own shit. Like, I want to be a black business owner. How do you own it if you still working for his money? Your whole entire business had to be registered with his state in order for it to be a thing. Right? There's certain qualifications, certain things that you have to do to make sure that you stay business compliant, right? Your business has a EIN. You see what I'm saying? That its own identification number, its own identity within his system. So the thing is, we gotta really see it deep, and only a few can do that. Only a few are really doing that. You see what I'm saying? So we gotta raise that consciousness too. Somebody said in small towns, the women unite to raise the community, the men unite to build the community. Facts. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So we just gotta make sure that we tap and share, y'all. Make sure we doing that. And if anybody wants to say anything, feel free. We're here until whenever. You know what I'm saying? I think last time I said we have to talk to like 7 to 10 of our people, and we talked to like 15. So we just got to keep going, you know?
Oh, I would like to add, like, I'm very grateful for you, Sky and Denzel, and I think another person called Ether, because you guys are the ones that put me on into like the knowledge, like the way you guys break it down. Like, I've never resonated with something so clearly in my life. Like, you've like really changed how I view things. And I've read like the books that you guys recommended, like I think one's called Why Does Black Matter or something like that.
Why darkness matters?
Yeah, that's the one. I'm like halfway through that.
Yes.
I'm reading Biology for Dummies.
Wow.
Like, I'm trying to get
Love
into it. I feel like when it comes to articulating things, I struggle, but I feel like it's gonna take time, and I just need to continue like to sit with myself and like keep reading.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm grateful to you guys for all. Like, thanks.
Well, gratitude.
We're grateful that you saw your own individual light. That's what we're grateful for. Because that's gonna spread. You see what I'm saying? That's gonna make you whole within, and I'm glad to hear that, because that was very powerful. Like, you know, that you decided to shift your mind to knowledge of self.
Yeah. And I love hearing our people say that they got the books and they seen for themselves.
Yeah.
Because there's still people that's been listening to us for maybe like a year or two, and they don't get it. You know what I'm saying? But the ones that pick up the book and they sit with the knowledge, it becomes very clear, like, okay, we do function differently, and here's the explanation.
Yep.
Gratitude and abundance for that. Go ahead, Truth Never Lies. Welcome up.
How you doing? My
Mm-hmm.
device is raggedy, so I ain't gonna be long because when I come off mute, I can't hear you guys. I don't know why it's like that, but it does that. And so when I go back on mute, then I can hear what y'all saying, and it's hard to communicate with it like that. I just
Okay.
was asking, really. I mean, what did I ask? Are all it says all black people are the same globally, and so I was asking, what do you mean by that? Skin color or genetics, or
Yeah,
can you
genetics.
explain?
Absolutely. Genetics is the answer for that. Um, we all stem from the same embryological origin. The same literal totipotent stem cells make replications of themselves called daughter cells. And that's the literal replication for why we're the same. So when it comes to skin color, we have to understand that the BLK woman can create 48 different known shades of herself. It's not really that the Khoisan people are different than the so-called Nigerians. These are different replications that's come from the same origin. It's just that YT people, Arabs, and Asian men have been the ones to call us Nigerian, African this, African American that. They're the ones placing these titles on our land masses and on our own people, making us think that we're different when we really come from the same origin and moved as a global civilization.
Facts.
That makes sense. That's why I asked. Most people just assume they know what it is, but I like to ask so I get an understanding of what you meant by that. I don't disagree with it because I believe that we all come from a single place anyway. It all started in somewhere, and everybody with melanin got melanin. Everybody without it, hey, it's just something different about them.
Facts. And what's different is the fact that we don't have the same melanin. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to show you what I mean by it's not fit. Wait, here it is. This one is a little bit more fit to the screen where it says that there are five basic types of melanin. There's eumelanin, pheomelanin, neuromelanin, allomelanin, and pyomelanin. Every single living organism on this planet has melanin. What makes us phenotypically present different from other people is because there's a literal different structure of melanin, different DNA, right? So neuromelanin is what our people have, right? And that's just what user was talking about with the book Why Darkness Matters. That's written by 4 BLK neuroscientists that talk about embryology. Like Dr. Ann C. Brown has documentaries, she has books separate from Why Darkness Matters. All four of them scientists also have their own books. Dr. Ted Moore, Dr. Edward Bruce Bynum. These are our people that are literally putting out the neuroscience, the neuropsychiatry behind how we stem from the same embryological origin.
Yep. And they tell you how neuromelanin is present before the first heartbeat of the cell, before it was even the sperm even gets to the cell. It has a heartbeat, and neuromelanin is there making the template. The mother is already communicating with her eggs to make the template of how the body is gonna be. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of people that don't understand that we have different types of melanin going on around the planet, and neuromelanin is condensed sunlight, so concentrated colors of the sun.
Right. And so when we're talking about the melanin, which also permeates throughout the entire integumentary system, and there's this lady that's on the screen here. I was scrolling on Pinterest and there's an ad, like a 3-minute ad that they have that's trending of these YT women dermaplaning. And when I seen this shit, I had to the screen record it because if your bosses and your teachers don't shave for a month, you're gonna see that animal phenotype come out.
Yep.
These women are dermaplaning. These men are shaving. Right?
Hypertrichosis.
Hypertrichosis is what it's called. So our people may struggle with hiatusm, but hiatusm is not hypertrichosis, right? So we have to understand that we're not the same as these people, literally. Different genetic material. So I just wanted to show you that that's a lot of hair. She put the shaving cream on her face so that way that it's visible for the hair that she needs to dermaplane. And that hair is everywhere, even on her nose. You know? We don't see that happen with our people at all. Go ahead, user.
I was just gonna say, like, when I was in school before, and like I went to a majority all white school, everyone used to be like, why don't you shave? Like, I used to tell them, oh, I don't shave. Like, I didn't know it wasn't like if it was normal to shave or whatever. And all of them were like trying to gaslight me, like making me sound like I'm crazy for like not shaving. But like, I seen one girl and she had so much hair on her. Like, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful, but it just looked so odd. And I was like, wait, I started clocking like, we're not the same. Like, we have such different things going on. Like, I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say, but like, there's just obvious differences and it's passed off as like, oh, it's just a thing. Like, it's just this and that. But no, these are like major differences. Like I would say black people don't have certain things. I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and you're actually describing it pretty well. What you're saying is that you can look at their phenotyping. We don't have the same. We don't present the same
physical characteristics.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so when it comes to everybody outside of our people, you're gonna see their animal phenotype come through. We can't look at each other and say Africans have 40% Neanderthal DNA when that is not being genetically expressed through their phenotype throughout the entire continent of Africa, right?
Mm,
So of course there are people like the Somalians or the Ethiopians, but I don't know who you're talking about because as a byproduct of mixing, the Arabs are under that name too. You have hybrids that are under that name that truly aren't us, that don't stem from the same embryological origin as us. So that's why the title gotta be dismantled because you don't really know who's who under that. If Elon Musk is African and then we see brothers that look like us too over there, somebody is not being honest about who's who, right?
mm,
Your real identification is your suit, your biological suit. But these people come up to you dressed in black from head to toe with shades on, black suit, known as police, mimicking your black body, meaning black body radiation, right?
Mm-hmm.
To mimic you and police you on a plane, and they ask you for your license. Like the suit that you're walking in isn't genetic identification. So we got to understand, the more we keep giving energy to their system, to their way of thinking, they're just going to harness that energy and get what they want out of us. They need it to be division because that energy, the division that we're dealing with is because of him. So if we come together and there's unity, there's no him. That's why there must be division in their system, which is a global corporation.
mm,
Yeah, we're not like they say, oh, America is different. This is a global corporation. All your world leaders are working together.
Yep.
And they come together to grape children in the background.
Yep.
And when you look at these, when these emails get leaked, like Hillary Clinton's emails that they was talking about, like in the 2010s, 2012s, or I don't know, that might have been 2015, something like that.
Yeah.
When them emails, when you actually go on the dark web and look at those emails, they were hanging our children by umbilical cords and poking them with sticks and eating them.
Wearing their faces still to this day. What they're doing that you say, oh, they did this, and they're doing it right now.
Behind
and it's your
closed doors.
politicians.
Yeah. So the Epstein files that people are waiting for, it shouldn't have been one. Like, let me just start out by saying that. Like, it should have never been one man, one woman, one of our people that's the celebrities that's working with them to do that. It should never be one. I don't even understand why. How could you sit there and wait for a plethora of files to come out when it shouldn't have even been one?
Shouldn't have been one child gone missing, abused psychologically and physically, but we waiting for the Epstein files.
Yeah.
What? That doesn't make sense.
You haven't done shit about the people that are on the list right now. You waiting for more. That's got me looking at your psychological state a little bit strange. Like, I'm looking at our people like, oh, this is just a distraction from the Epstein files. Look at your ass sitting here waiting for fucking files. You want files of this? You want files of this information?
Like, who else is experimenting on our children?
Yeah, man.
It's them.
Literally.
Their experiments, the scientists work with the politicians, which work with world leaders. They all those meetings that they go overseas to talk about oil and talk, that only lasts us 1 hour. What do you think they do for the rest of their time there? Why do you think the government shut down it? Billions and billions of dollars went into trafficking children and exploiting them mentally and physically.
Yeah.
That's what's been going on.
Yeah.
It's a war on children. It's a war on our genetic future, genetic information. That's what it's about. It's not about racism. That's genetic survival. Everybody outside of us needs our stem cells to survive. It's not that our DNA is within them. It's still in the lab powering up, making new organisms. It's an electromagnetic powerhouse. Like the sun. It's a sun. It's a generator.
Yeah.
They're using it to generate. Watch it and make fake calcium ionospores, which are fake electrons and protons, to build up the building blocks that she was talking about, the amino acids and the enzymes, the lipids, which makes the cell. So like how the sister was saying, she said she's got the biology book. They're going to mostly talk about their genetics in there. But once you learn about their genetics and you know how you go in there knowing that these people are not us, you're gonna see that the other things that they talk about, like the universe, the energy flows through all phases of matter, you're gonna be like, that's me.
Yeah, you gotta know. That's why we be talking about facts. That's why we be talking about understanding the function. They can be like black body radiation. Oh, that's not true. It's not actual black bodies. That's somebody that's never studied it. Do you understand trees, plants,
stars?
They are black body radiators.
Yep.
But when you look at plants, are they black? No. So they just calling it that because of the mechanism and the function. So we got to start having scientific discussions, man, because these historical ones is leading us astray. I mean, damn. We don't know who the fuck is who. Well, Africans. I'm like, who? Well, if you look at it, I'm gonna post the last live, I promise y'all. I'm real bad with posting stuff. But go ahead, Anthony. I'll get to that in a minute. I know you said you were gonna come back in. Go ahead.
Okay, so it says all black people are globally the same. I'll disagree with that because East Africans are not the same as West Africans. Someone from South African are not the same as East Africans. East Africans have a very high Eurasian DNA compared to like West Africans. West Africans have ghost DNA. All right, so and then Black Americans are different from West Africans. We don't have ghost DNA. We have ancient Eurasian DNA compared to West Africans.
So
our DNA is much different from West Africans.
So when you're saying DNA, explain to me what's different. Is there different embryology? Is there different what's different about it? You're saying Eurasian, but then you're saying DNA, and the title is not synonymous with biology or DNA. So I'm confused. There are white and Arab Eurasians, so I don't. Can you be more specific?
Okay. Okay. Well, for me, my DNA is haplogroup J.
F1 in the chat, y'all, because I just got flagged. F1, please. Go ahead, Anthony.
Okay, so my DNA is a bit different from those of West Africans, right? West Africans have like this gene that haven't been discovered, like ghost DNA. So
then, how do they know that what it is then? How do they know to call it ghost DNA if it's never been discovered? I'm just trying to understand.
Well, it's completely unknown. Like just science.
So
wait.
Okay.
So you're okay. So you're saying that the DNA is different, but you're not explaining how it's different. You're saying one is ghost DNA, but they don't know what's in it. So I don't understand. how do you know, if you don't know its composition, how do you know it's actually different from someone else's?
Exactly.
Uh, it's because their ancestors stayed within Africa. They never left, like East Africans. East Africans, they went outside of Africa and did like trades with like Europeans, like back and forth, like in and out of Africa.
So they
So they,
traded with Europeans, Europeans meaning the YT people, I'm assuming?
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so if they had contact with the YT people, they were colonized, correct?
yeah,
Okay, so I'm
and also
confused.
East Africans, they stayed outside of Africa, and they mutated. Straight hair, straight nose, straight nose. I mean, straight hair, straight nose, and skull, Caucasian
Oh.
skulls.
But you haven't told us the genetic composition. That's what we've been asking. Like, what is the genetic composition of these organisms that you're trying to say? Because ghost DNA is just explaining neuromelanin, because it can't be anthropologically found. That's what it's saying. Like the ghost
Yeah.
DNA is that they can't find bones, they can't find no certain part of DNA on any landmass, finding out that uh, there's a gene inside of a so-called black woman, and it's made up of neuromelanin that is connected to another group of so-called black people outside of the planet that basically predates the planet's age. That's what's inside a so-called black woman, and that's inside of all so-called black women. And the composition of neuromelanin is hydrocarbon. You see what I'm saying? With helium, with oxygen and nitrogen. And all of our women throughout the entire planet have that. That's why they're all being exploited and going missing at alarming rates all over the planet. That's why all young black girls are going missing all over the planet at alarming rates.
So I had to mute you because your background was a little bit loud. Can you tell us what's the difference in cell biology? Like when you, because
Exactly.
you're talking about the skull, you're talking about the phenotype or the anatomy, but before we get to phenotypical differences and anatomical differences, we got to talk about the cell biology. So do you know any difference in cellular structure, perhaps? Or embryological origin by a chance, because that's what would make us actually different, is the cell, the single most cell that we stem from.
Facts. The core.
And
Oh, sorry, I have no clue about that one.
so that's what makes us the same. So I, Anthony, you know how you came in here saying that we were different, and I just explained to you through embryology we're the same.
Exactly.
That's how. So when you ask me to explain, I land. Thank you.
Yep. So-called black people, you can't find it in a landmass. The whole planet has our DNA. The whole planet is hydrocarbon. Carbon to make up the land, and water is hydrogen. That's the same thing our bodies is made up of. So the whole planet has our DNA. So how can you trace a so-called black person to a landmass when you can trace them back to a star, when you can trace them back to quarks, electrons, protons? We're beyond this fictitious time clock calendar systems. We're beyond that. We gotta, if we're trying to find the next app or the next place to connect, but it's the neuromelanated neural network. That's where nobody else can join and gentrify or colonize anything. But we allowed our mind to be colonized. You see what I'm saying? We think somebody who psychologically abused us and physically abused us has the psychological sane mind to name our places on our planet and then say that we're from there, and then give them places to say that they're from there. That doesn't make sense. All these names was just so they can have a place to live, because we didn't look at the planet like that.
So you're on mute, Anthony. Did you want to say anything?
Yep.
Hello?
Anthony, yo.
I'm done.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
abundance.
Abundance, brother. Keep rising and elevating itself. You
Thank
are the
you.
sun.
See,
You are the sun in the universe, my brother.
Yeah. All right, so we got what? What was that? Was it number 3 or what? What are we on? 4? I think we're gonna try to do 15 again.
Yeah, we need to hit 15 of our people
So
tonight.
yeah, as much as they come in and out, we just gotta tap in with them. This is what we do. This is what we gotta do, y'all.
Facts.
I gotta tap in with the videos and stuff so that way I can really reach a lot of our people at once. But we be on live like crazy, man. We be on live 300D. The Africans ain't us. like damn.
Children sitting next to you,
See,
looking at you
you
all
hear
crazy, like damn.
children in the background playing, hearing niggas scream at the phone. They mad and shit. I'm like, yo. So we just gotta, the truth said point proving.
Exactly.
Facts.
And they always just say, okay, yep, gotta go.
Gotta go. Yep.
Where are you going to though?
Yeah,
I hope hopefully it's the truth, the path of truth and not ignorance.
Hopefully it's to tell another brother or sister
You
what you
feel me?
just learned, or to go sit with it for a little bit so you can really articulate yourself.
Because
Hopefully it's not to go to the next live and be like, oh, well, I was just in this other live and they were saying that we was all the same. Because y'all be doing that. I seen it. We ended the live and somebody went right in.
oh my gosh, for real.
Man, so we just gonna wait. We just gonna wait. Anybody want to come up and say something, even if it's to agree? We're waiting until another brother or sister come up here to, just express their frequency on anything, damn, like, what was I finna say about Greenland? Do y'all know how much of the ice is melting there per year? It's like 266 billion tons a year. Hold on.
Yep. Yeah, you got the
Yeah. Greenland. And see, right now, the hot topic right now amongst the political leaders, they fighting over Greenland. They're fighting over Greenland because it's losing 264 billion tons of ice every year. And they said that was every year since 1993. From 1993 to 2019, that's how much every year. 264 billion tons. So do you think that Greenland looks like what they were telling you in school in them textbooks? I just want to see what y'all are going to say.
And then they're going to blame this on
global warming.
Global warming. When the planets are naturally supposed to be warm with the sun's rays. So what's taking place on the planet? Why is China focused on artificial suns? Why are these politicians focused on building bunkers and we're focused on just being on live, or you see them destroying each other psychologically and physically? We're over here hurting each other. You see what I'm saying? Because they're preparing for an extinction level event that's going to take place. You see what I'm saying? And it's going to take place with all organisms. Through, if you're going to be ignorant, then your life, you're going to have to reset. But for the eukaryotic cell, it's an extinction level event. They're not coming back.
And then it says Antarctica is losing approximately 135 billion tons of ice per year. It said with its melt rate tripling in recent years. And when they say recent years, you got to look into that and see how they plan, because what they're talking about is the last 10 going on 11 so-called years of UVC radiation being ground level. That's what they mean by recent. So this is the reason why we're starting to see the skies, be the way that they are. Looks like Anthony wants to come back up. And I'm going to actually, while I'm waiting for him to come back up, I'm going to show y'all some pictures that I caught of the sky. Like, this was when I was in Texas a couple of months ago. Or excuse me, this was Texas. Yeah, a couple of months ago. So, you see what I'm saying? Somebody said Elohim made man in their image. God formed and breathed life. That's not our origin, brother. Religion is not our origin. Religion came from the YT man. You see what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
we can. Genetics already proves to us that we all come from our mothers. You see what I'm saying? All nature is matriarch. That's what's running nature.
Oh yeah, facts.
And yeah, the skies is actually, this is all solar radiation. You will see orange. You will see the whole light spectrum in your skies. You see what I'm saying? That's because the ozone layering is removed. And these solar radiation people, oh, the sky is pretty. This is breaking down the electrical grid that everybody's using, the phone, everything that's what's it called? All the electricity in these buildings. That's what all of this is using. So this is all gonna shut down. Radiation is piercing through the ozone layer.
Everything.
You see what I'm saying? And it's vibrating higher than the electrical grid because the electrical grid was made with synthetic electricity. They got you around synthetic electricity. They got you around fluoride, viruses, parasites, all to slow down your electromagnetism so you don't breathe what's in the air right there. Red
Yeah.
iron oxide dust.
Now the first picture I showed you was Texas. This is Nebraska, like few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But I'm gonna show you something that's really wild. Give me a second here. And I know I said I was gonna do a video about all the stuff, the pictures I had, and so I'm just gonna do it right now. I'm just gonna show y'all.
Yeah.
And I still will do one, but in my own energy and timing.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna put a time on it because.
And all these solar protons or solar particles or these magnetic electrons, they're all changing every organism on this planet right now structure, because light changes DNA. But is it upgrading you or is it degrading you? Is it because if you have too much genetic information in your body, you can't hold on to the vibration, pressure, and heat of the sun? But if you have if your genetic information stems from one embryological origin, you are upgrading depending on how you're elevating your mind.
The sister said it's been purple and blue as well. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can't really show you the wide shot of this. It looks like a portal. It was crazy in the sky. This was Texas a few months ago as well. But I really wish I could show them, with the pink in Kansas.
Yeah.
Let me go to that. Oh, there it is. Y'all.
Wow.
Like that was amazing me. I still gotta compile them so you can see the full thing, and better resolution too. But yeah, that's what we're seeing. That's UVC radiation that we're breathing in, and nobody is talking about what that is. That's a gene mutating, germ unaliving wavelength.
Yeah, a detoxifying wavelength.
Yep,
And
facts.
it's unlocking different parts of our brain. You see what I'm saying? More parts of your brain, you're gonna start using more parts of your brain. That's the type of information that the sun is sending out, because it changed from yellow to white, which meaning it's sending out new forms of radiations or new forms of light in different dimensions or angles of light.
This was also in Texas. This was like last year or earlier. Yeah, this was definitely last year, but like early last year. Pink skies. But yeah, I just wanted to show y'all, like, that's what's happening on the planet, like locally. Like, while all this stuff is like happening all over the globe, like the earth is changing her resonance, and we sitting here talking about the Africans ain't us. And we're talking about one motherland, but look at her entire atmosphere though. Y'all do understand that the only thing that's separating the landmass is water, right? I just wanted to point that out to you. Like the landmass shit, do y'all understand that what's separating the landmasses is water? So quite literally, it's not water separating them. It's water connecting them. Because what do molecules in water do? Don't they bond together?
Yep.
And they're conscious enough to bond together to create the molecules that form the water. They say water is the number one shapeshifter in the world. Or excuse me, water is one of the best shapeshifters in the world. Go ahead, almost 12.
Hey y'all, yeah, I just got here, so I'm just listening to you talk right now, and just then.
Yeah, we're basically how we're explaining how all of our people are globally the same through embryology. Did you have any pushback on that or wanted to express on the topic?
No, everybody is the same through the mitochondrial Eve gene, but like I've been kind of that's it's really hyper important to say that everybody is the same because we have like so many people. Like for some reason, people think like I guess it's it's a difference between like a Black American and an African American. You see what I'm saying? It's just I don't know. That's just like some type of brainwash programming. They don't really like dove deep into it, but yeah, everybody like is like the same on a genetic scale. Definitely all Black people. Everybody besides us is just like a mutation.
Yeah, everybody outside of us is a completely different species. They actually did not mutate or branch off from us. But you're spitting facts about about mitochondria Eve, mitochondria deoxyetheric acid. The etheric acid would be neuromelanin, which is one of the 5 basic types of melanin. So when we're looking at these other people, they do not have the same melanin as us. It's not a discussion about more melanin over the other. They have pheo and eumelanin. So facts, we are the same because of DNA, because of genetics and embryology. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean like yeah, you're like I feel you on like 100%. Like the only reason like that I guess like any to connect like because I believe in genetic engineering. So like I
Facts.
guess like the only reason like because we're able to mix with them, so they have human genes in them, but they have human genes in them because of the mitochondrial. They even have the mitochondrial DNA in them.
No.
You see,
Wait, how?
How do they have the totipotent stem cell in them?
so you telling me white people don't have mitochondrial DNA in them?
They do they have the same mitochondria DNA as us? Do they stem from the same origin
So
as us?
you have the origin. So it's like you have like the origin. They have like a copy of that. You see what I'm saying?
So a
Like
copy, like they were able to grab the genetic material and make a copy of it?
white people are part human. They're not completely human. Black people are human. They're part human. You see what I'm saying?
Okay,
YT people are 100% human. BLK people are not human. Q means animal. They have animal DNA. They are a genetic compilation. They have animal DNA, um
genetic material from different organisms.
different amounts. That's what I'm trying
Yeah,
to say. My bad.
different
So okay,
percentages.
Different variations. Yep, and percentages.
Yep.
do all humans come from the mitochondrial Eve gene, right?
No.
No, that's what
So
evolution is explaining with prokaryotes and eukaryotes, 2 different origins of life.
Yeah, because what the mitochondrial Eve gene is explaining is the neuromelanin totipotent stem cell. You see what I'm saying? How the electron transport between the ion channels that allow information to go in and out of the cell. So how the cell utilizes information. So that information that the mother has to utilize information and energy within her cells, she's passing that on from her to her daughter, and it only
Mm-hmm.
gets passed by the mother. That's why it's only found inside a woman, and it's the totipotent stem cell, and it's the genetic template to make so-called black people, and it's made up of different quirks of the color force to make different shades of us.
Mm-hmm.
So these people that you're talking about, they're not a mutation of us. They were created in the ecto womb. The first white man, the first Asian man, the first Arab man, all of these different organisms were created in a artificial lab womb. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It's called an ecto womb. You see what I'm saying? It's a fake uterus, and they feed it with fake nutrients, synthetic nutrients to create a baby. You see what I'm saying? The reasons why we can procreate with these species today is because they had to grape us for thousands and thousands of years, and add antigens in our blood so our antigens can mix with their proteins to create babies.
Where does an albino black person come from?
It's one of the 48 shades that the BOK woman can create.
Yep.
It's on. It's just on. It's a. When you look at the full spectrum, that's still us. Their skin still biosynthesizes the sun like us. They still have hair like us because that is just another expression of the totipotent stem cell that he was just telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
That's the real so-called difference between us, is the different shades that BOK woman can create through. That's what cell potency is about.
That's
the reason why
Eve
that's
gene.
the mitochondria Eve gene is how hold on, let me put it on the screen for you because it's easier for you to see it than for me to tell it to you. 1 second. I want us to understand this too. 1 second. Boom. So when it comes to cell potency, there's 3 levels. You have totipotent, which is the most abundant to be able to replicate itself. That's what daughter cells are. Like the first in cell replication, you have one cell, prokaryotes, right? Single cell that makes a replication of itself, splitting, right? So that's what we do. That's what embryonic stem cell totipotency, that's what that phenomenon is explaining. Then you get into pluripotency and multipotency, which they have a least, the further down you go, down the chart is the least capability of making those replications. So I know I post this, but I haven't like broke it down like that. So abundance, conscious for that. That's what I mean. When it comes to embryonic stem cell, they come from a completely different stem cell for all life on the planet. You either only are here through biogenesis or spontaneous generation. That's why things like broccoli, cats, dogs, celery, cruciferous vegetables, carrots, and shit like that exist, because it's crazy when people hear like, oh, these people were created in a lab. But
okay. No.
Go ahead.
You saying white people were created in the lab, right?
Arabs, all of these people outside of us, they are genetically modified organisms.
So black people are not genetically modified organisms.
No, we're here and we've naturally expanded with the cosmos through biogenesis. That's what our DNA says.
Yep.
Oh, so we're not okay. Because I completely agree with you. You know what I mean? That they're genetically modified organisms. That's a fact. You see what I'm saying? They spliced with all types of, like, the pig and the mouse and all that. You see what I'm saying? That's
monkey.
Right. But I also agree that black people are also genetically modified organisms, because we're also because we are part reptilian. You see, we do have reptile in our genes. The black female is the alien gene. The mitochondrial Eve gene. They say it's not even from this planet. You know the whole, like, the junk DNA, all that. So, like, you know what I'm saying. So, and then we all. There's tons of claims to support that as well. That's what I'm trying to say. Like the black woman, like, Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve were real people. That's why they call it the Eve gene, because Eve was a real woman. That's why they call it the Eve gene. But she was a genetically modified organism.
Okay, so with you saying that, first of all, Texas T, I see you. I'm gonna get to you as soon as I wrap up or land with Amos. So gratitude and abundance for coming up. Okay, you're saying that the BOK woman is genetically modified.
Yes.
So then what is the explanation for prokaryotes and eukaryotes? You just say you agree with me on that. You agreed that there are prokaryotes and eukaryotes that are in existence, which is what evolution is explaining, and that they're genetically modified. So explain to me how the BOK woman is genetically modified. What's her origin then?
So do you know the junk DNA that they found inside of the black woman, but they call it junk DNA or ghost DNA?
Yep, and it's the only, they are saying that our DNA is the only DNA that is connected to a species outside of this planet.
So do you know who Queen Ninpuabi is?
No. Yes. You said it differently than what I've heard. Yes.
So it's a fact that, you know what I'm saying, that it's a woman like that was around. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to go deeper into that, but Queen Ninpuabi was a black woman.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? And she was not human. That's a fact. You can TikTok it or whatever you want to feel, but that's a fact. You see what I'm saying?
Well, the truth.
She wasn't the only 10-foot black female walking around in them times. You
So
see
that
what I'm
makes her
saying?
genetically modified?
Yeah, so how does that make her genetically modified? That's what we're
No, I'm
getting.
saying the black female walking the earth that me and you see, brother, is genetically modified. You see what I'm saying? Quinn, she's a black woman, but that doesn't mean she's like a black woman like
Okay,
you.
I see what you're trying to say. So again, she's there, that mother of life that you just explained and our woman today, there's no difference. The only difference is one is poisoned.
Literally
Poisoned.
shrunken in
She's not
frequency.
genetically modified. They cannot change neuromelanin. You cannot splice into neuromelanin no matter how low its frequency or how high its frequency. And that can be proven through black body radiation. And that can be proven through biologists who try to genetically splice into our cells. And when they use UV light to cut into our cells, since our cells are coated in light, it absorbs the light like a black hole and utilize that energy
Thanks.
for later energetic uses for daily functions. So we so-called black people, we are poisoned. We are filled with viruses and parasites from the genetically modified species that you're talking about. So she wasn't genetically modified. There was a species created to give her viruses and parasites to give
Nah,
her
bro,
skull
I feel
tissue.
like, bro, because if you look
Wait,
at her
Hold
skull,
on for a second.
hold on. Can
There,
I?
yeah.
My bad. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say there was viruses, parasites, carcinogens, and pathogens created to keep her psychologically distorted, which makes her physical body not gonna be able to be at a high frequency because she's only using 2% of your brain. When you're only using 2% of your brain, you're only using 2% of your body. So that's why we're actually very small right now. We used to be very big. We used to be very tall on the planet. So she's not genetically modified. You
That's
cannot
nah,
what.
splice
okay.
into her.
In my argument to that is her genetics were different because she did not have a human set or row of teeth. You see what I'm
Because
saying? Her
human is animal man. So you have to understand that their classification for what they consider human is not what they are, is not to be compared to our DNA and our genetics. So this is what I was going to say. First of all, you have to understand every single thing that happened to this planet, which will require you to not just study so-called humans, every single thing, plants, animals, insects, and microorganisms,
Facts.
and how they have changed over time, over so-called time. So let's go prehistoric for a second and let's talk about Carboniferous. And when I'm done explaining this, I'm going to Texas T. Okay, and then we'll circle the panel again. So boom, Carboniferous era, they're saying that there was up to 40% more oxygen on the planet at that time. And that is the explanation for why plants, animals, insects, everything on the globe was much greater in size. That's the reason why dragonflies were the size of birds, or
Small cars.
small cars. Beetles were the size of small vans and buses. Centipedes were much greater in size because they were taking in more interstellar gases and nanodiamonds. So you got to understand there's an ozone layer here today that does not naturally and biologically or genetically align with this planet. And that's what's peeling back. And those pictures that I was just showing you of our skies, that's why we're starting to see more of our skies like that, because that ozone layer is peeling back, adding in more radiation from the cosmos and from other planets, from other celestial bodies that we're coming in sync with through alignments. So I remember when I was a child, the skies used to be filled with stars. And when I became a teenager, I didn't see them no more. And now as an adult in my 20s, I'm seeing them again. And these stars, if you pay attention, have had the same structure. They've been in the same formation for months. It's the same three stars aligned in the sky
you
that
know
you can
Ryan
see.
though.
Hold on, that you can see in Texas, that you can also see in Nebraska, or that you can see in Kansas. So it's letting us know where we are in the solar system. So I just wanted to let you know, when you're saying that it's a woman that used to be much greater in size, everything used to be much greater in size. Earth's rotation was knocked off 40.4 degrees. And we can tell that by the rings and how the trees have aged. So chronobiology is telling you that how patterns are different rhythmically throughout organisms. That's how you see what really took place on this planet. Okay, boom, I land. Go ahead, Texas. Thank you for being patient. And we'll get to user and then we'll go to Amos again.
Abundance.
Hey, ain't no problem. I thank y'all for your for the invite. You know, respect to you, host. Respect to the panel. And I don't know. I was just invited. I'm nowhere near as educated and or intelligent as you guys are. So I mean, I'm really just here to learn. I mean, I have my own thoughts on things. As you see, I said what I said. Some were formed, and there were those who were created, and those who were created are not the same people as I believe who were formed. We were formed as black people. If you want to call us black, that's why we are attached, to this earth. It resonates with us per se. I believe some of the white tea. I don't want to be politically correct here. They're missing proteins. That's why they can't create as the black woman does.
Yeah, you're basically saying the building. No, you're good. First of all, abundance for what you said. You know what I'm saying? You are as intelligent as us. You just remembering right now. We helping you remember.
Yeah.
So, well, let's not even talk like that. You just as intelligent of us, brother, because what you just said is that you're the replication of the first BLK man that she created. You see what I'm saying? So
just my basic building blocks.
yeah, facts. So that's what. So speaking of building blocks, you just said that their building blocks are different than ours, and so that's why. Yep, that's why they can't do what the BLK woman can do.
Simply this way, as I look at this, I can stay out in the sun a long time, and it don't bother me. It don't hurt.
Same as us. We can be outside 8 hours sweating, but not uncomfortable. You see what I'm saying? All day. We can spend all day outside.
Yeah.
Sun up to sundown outside. Long as we got our essential oils, because the mosquitoes be a fool. But and they're unnatural. You see what I'm saying? Mosquitoes need blood from other organisms to make children.
Yep.
That's so unnatural, man. And they're finding every way possible to take our DNA, our blood. You know what I'm saying? These different rug tests for their jobs.
Okay.
What else? Hair samples.
And what she just said about the mosquitoes, that's the same thing for the eukaryotic cell. They need blood from other organisms to create life.
Yeah, so just because we're procreating with them today, that doesn't mean that it's natural. And that doesn't mean that it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You know, because when we come in contact with them, we get diseases, zoonotic diseases, hemolytic red blood cell hemolysis. So
I agree with that. In history, back in the day, history, whatever, blah blah blah. It proves itself. All them plagues and stuff. Well, nobody dying over here like that. Well, nobody sick.
F1 in the chat, y'all. Facts. I hear you. We gotta be careful with the language in here, y'all, because they put a 10-minute restriction. It was already lifted, but it's still on the. It still says, it's saying that it's ended, but I don't like how it's still in my queue, like on my creator side. Yeah, heavy emojis if you can.
I didn't say anything, did I?
I think you said. What did he just say? It's okay. It doesn't matter. But let's just get more movement in the chat anyway because of the restriction. You did just say a trigger word though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's cool.
Look, much obliged for the invite. I appreciate you. Continue to grow. Continue to build. Somebody out here love it. And I'm the man in the mirror raising my hand. And I'm going to let you continue. And I'm going to continue to listen.
Gratitude. Likewise, my brother.
Yeah, man. We want you to see the light that exists within you, man. Abundance.
I know I'm not crazy. I'm not slow. I'm just y'all know some stuff, and I like it. I love it. I like it. I love it. God dog. Yeah, ain't nothing better than some of us.
You know why we like it? Because your mirror neurons want to do the same thing.
Yes,
they want to learn. They want to learn. You see what I'm saying? That you're sparking more of your neurons. You're making more synaptic junctures just by even being on this live, listening to the different terminologies and how we speak about our people, how we speak about what's going on the planet that hasn't been psychologically shown to you freely.
Yeah.
So like the fact that you choosing this and you want this, like this is your start, man. And
And
I want to.
I want to say something.
Go ahead, brother.
Where scripture is concerned,
Mm.
I just want to say something.
Go ahead, brother.
There are things that are anybody can do anything to try to take away from that is already written that some folks shouldn't be teaching. But when you just know. That was my statement earlier. You know, some were formed, and there were those who were created. As Elohim said, "Let us make man in our image and our likeness." And it says in the next chapter, it says, "And he formed man and breathed the breath of life into him." So I'm on the same page with you, for sure, for sure, for sure. No, not all of us are the same, but we as this is
Wait,
what
what's going on, brother? Because now you're saying you're talking about religion, and then you say
no, it's not religion, not religion. It's
so.
not.
Who's the
It's
divine creator of all organic natural life?
Yeah.
say again.
Who's the divine creator of all organic natural life?
L.
Yes.
No. Okay, so y'all both. Who's L? Is it a man? And
L
God.
from Stranger
No.
Things?
like, who
Or
you talking about?
You funny.
Nah,
No.
the
No.
fact. See,
We
I
trying to be
understand exactly
serious.
what Texas is saying, but go ahead,
No.
Texas.
No. No. Not L from Stranger Things. You got
Okay,
Jim.
who?
Who is it? I'll say it like this. My mother was my first God.
okay.
That's the first.
So
That's who gave me nourishment. As for me,
Okay.
She's
So
God of
then,
his physical body. Yeah.
yes.
so then who? Okay, wait a minute. Hold on, because first of all, we was talking to Texas T, and then when we get done with him, we're gonna go to User because she hasn't spoken in a long time, and then
exactly.
Hey,
we're
look,
gonna get back
I've
to
said what I've
Omni.
had to say. I don't
Yeah,
want to
I
hold up.
got you. I just want to respond
Yeah.
because you said your mother was your first so-called God, right?
Yes,
And then somebody said that that's the creator of the physical suit, insinuating that there's a creator, a different creator for your etheric or your esoteric body. But you got to understand that
no.
neuromelanin is the only bio
Let her finish.
Neuromelanin is the only biochemical substance that can condense sunlight, and it's also condensed sunlight in itself. Essentially, it is the soul. This is what Why Darkness Matters is talking about with embryology. So one of the first things that the physical body, when the mother makes, is what? The nervous system, which is literal light. So that light body that you're talking about stems from what? Because as above, so below, as within, so without. Your physical body is connected to your esoteric body. They're not different from each other. If you come from the BLK woman physically, then it's her. It's whatever her esoteric origin is, which is herself. Mental conception, parthenogenesis. This is why their Bible starts out with Genesis. Gene means origin. So they're talking about the origin is really the woman.
Yep.
They're saying that it's a man, but we have never been able to observe a man a woman come from a man's rib.
I agree.
That's never happened, but we have always seen throughout nature, throughout the cosmos, even through particles on the quantum level, subatomic, atomic, all the way up through the macrocosmic level, that feminine energy is the creator of all divine life.
I agree.
So
I
then,
agree too.
So then, but y'all just said L. Y'all said L.
Let me say.
So who's L? Who's
No,
So let me explain.
L?
Hold on. I got a question. I got a quick question.
Hold on. Now
I
the
just got
mother
one
of life on the
question. I just
top
got
didn't
one
get to
question.
speak, so I get that y'all got questions, but she probably wants to say something and want to add something as well. So like how Texas was talking, it got to go back up to user,
and then
Amos again, then we go down, and then we can.
And then
I agree.
And then if user don't have nothing to say, then okay, Amos. But let's just let her,
see if she wants to do it. Chime in. Go ahead.
Go ahead, user.
Yeah, I agree with everything that you guys are saying, and I even feel like the whole nature itself leaves it leaves evidence of how things were, like how everything comes from the mother, like the mother is all. Like when you look at different animals like elephants, how like the elder mother is the one that navigates the family, like she passed down the DNA in her to lead the family. Or like when you look at killer whales, oops, I don't know if I can say that word,
It's
but
okay.
My bad, sorry.
That's how it is. Go ahead.
Like the elder whale, she passes down the DNA to her offspring as well, and like teaching them all the techniques. Like it's always like passed down through the mother's DNA.
Yep.
And it's the same with the BLK women. Like we are not meant to be we're not meant to be operating the way we are now. Like we were operating as one, and then we divided over time. Like even when the XY, when males were created, it's like at one point we were working together and then a division took place. And then you fast forward all the way till now, we're now the same people around the globe and we're not operating the same. Like we've dropped down in frequency, and as we did, so did everything around us, the trees, the insects, the animals. But the thing about the animals and stuff, they're still operating on that same programming from their DNA. Like they haven't changed. They're still doing what they're meant to be doing. It's only us who are doing something completely different due to the manipulation from the like engineering that went on with like the YT people and stuff.
Yeah, and to be honest, nature, you know, they really truly are, they were infiltrated a different way because they also vibe at a different frequency. You see what I'm saying? Nature has been infiltrated. The lions be, a lot of the big cats be beefed out with each other. If you pay attention in nature not really vibing because we shrink. Just like you said, when we shrunk, they shrunk. But they are still our greatest reminder, you know, of how we should be moving based off of what's within our genetics. Like lions and crocodiles don't know that you're calling them lions or crocodiles. That's what they call them. They're doing what's within their genetics. And that's what makes a so-called crocodile is its genetics, right? When they talk about these animals and how they function in nature too, like they say that the crocodile and the alligator are cold-blooded, but really cold-blooded is just them being tapped into their surroundings and matching that temperature. So it's actually not cold. They're in swamps, which are tropical places.
Like chameleons
So
match
they
with their environment.
right, facts.
Yep.
So
Same
they
thing.
facts. So I just you cooking. Thank you for that. Are you done, sister? Or did you want to add something
The only
else?
thing I would add based on what you just said, I also feel like there was a time where animals weren't even like eating each other. I don't want to say the word like, you know what I mean? They weren't unaliving each other. But I feel like once the violence and everything took place with us, there was a shift in frequency, and I feel like they also attack each other, if that makes sense.
Yeah, literally. And a lot of it has to do with captivity because when you look at the animals that are in nature that they're observing from afar, they move different, completely different than the animals that are in captivity. So, and they experiment on them. They rug them up. They do experiments with the animals as well, and not to mention that they feed just like in history how they were feeding our babies to crocodiles. They're still feeding our organs to the animals in the zoos today. So none of this ever stopped. You know what I'm saying? So that
Yeah.
also psychologically damages our animals as well. What they've done to the earth is they've infiltrated everything. Ants cost them billions of dollars per year. It's their number one threat is ants. Ants break up, you know, concrete, and things like that. But yeah, you cooking.
And no matter how we were talking about, no matter how low the frequency of these animals, what do they have? They always hold the structure of family. You see what I'm saying? And you know why? Because they run off a matriarch. They understand that all my information comes from her. You see what I'm saying? And they never forget who they is. No matter how low the frequency is, they always do that. And that's what, like, they're training, like she said, they're training the animals in the zoos to eat our organs, to get used to our blood. You see what I'm saying? So it's just it's a genetic war that's going on, and it's a outright abuse right now going on with our children, and that's what our species really got to be focused on. You see what I'm saying? We really got to. That's why we need to understand ourselves, because it's not just for ourselves; it's for our species that we want to wake up and connect with every day. You see what I'm saying? So why wouldn't you want to reconnect with them on a higher level, on a higher consciousness, instead of the same consciousness that's keeping you psychologically trapped?
Facts.
Simple.
Go ahead, Amos.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, I love how we listening to you guys. I like having these kind of types of conversations. Man, he left earlier, but L is like, it's not really like, like a person, like do you believe like, okay, like you got emotions, right? Like whether you're curious, you're angry, you're happy, right? So these emotions that we have, do you think like they are like me, like I feel those exact same emotions you do. So do you think like that emotions like are just like in your body, or like it's like do you think they just coming from you, or like our emotions are coming from the same place, basically?
I guess I'm trying to understand your question. Are you talking about are you saying as being two different people, or are you saying me being feminine, you being masculine, or what
No,
aspect are you?
no, like all of our emotions come from the same source. Of
Okay.
you see what I'm saying? And then that
Okay.
source is considered like all of our emotions and all of our thoughts, like the will that we have. You see what I'm saying? Like for example, like the energy, like in our nervous system. You see what I'm saying? Like that energy, we don't just like make that energy in our bodies. That comes from like the cosmos, right?
No,
So
we.
however, so like from that point, um L is like the source of all of our thoughts and emotions. It's the soul, basically. And the soul, a soul isn't like an individual thing. A soul is the source of all, like, our thoughts and emotions and matter, like everything. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we was talking about when we was talking about L.
Okay. So essentially emotions or energy and motion, right? What you're talking about is source energy. Now, when it comes to us as BLK people, yes, we stem from that. We all come from that same embryological origin, which permeates out to the esoteric body. Which, yes, I understand source energy and pulling from that, but you create your own emotions because you are the creator of your own reality, essentially. Your emotions and your moods that you have is what then transmits messages to the brain, hormonal messages, which is the literal explanation that your biology is what creates your reality. So when you're vibing on, so you choose the emotion, you choose the frequency, and that's what you actually see because that's what you're morphing and forming your
So
mhm.
like all, you heard the term all is one, right?
Yeah, I've heard of
So
it.
so explain to me what that term means, all is one.
They're saying that all is one, coming from everything comes from one source. But
Right,
everything
correct.
on this planet doesn't come from one source. That's only
Not
true for
that's just this
one.
that's just this
Yeah.
planet. That's just this planet. We talking about all, like, you know what I'm saying, like the all. Like I'm
Yeah,
not trying
all
to
the
like
planets,
fry our
all this,
brains.
yeah, the sun, the quantum entanglement is what you're talking about. Yeah.
Now
We
now
are all
add that. Now
connected, but
add
we're
that.
not all
Now,
supposed to be connected to each other though. There's
but
pseudo electricity, just like you're saying that we have our own origin and these other people have their own origin. That is pseudo electricity that is around their body. It's electric. It's not electromagnetism.
I feel like, okay, energy, for example, it energy expresses itself in certain ways, right? Energy, it's an expression. So energy expressed itself in a feminine form first,
Hmm.
before it expressed itself in a masculine form.
Is it, or is femininity both? Because it's that all that you were talking about. Do you mean physically, or what
Now,
level?
okay. Before physically, I'm saying,
Okay.
even before physically. I'm talking about on a more etheric scale. You see what I'm saying? Feminine energies first, then you
Okay.
have masculine energy. This is the XY. You see what I'm saying? You
Hmm.
see how like this energy expresses itself in the chromosomes, and then after the
Hmm.
chromosomes, it expresses itself into a physical body. But you
Hmm.
see what I'm saying? So like, you know what I'm saying? But before it's feminine energy, It's just energy. You see what I'm saying?
Before energy is feminine.
Because thoughts, think about a thought, right? We thinking right
Go
now,
ahead, brother.
right? That's not a thought. Isn't a feminine or masculine thing. That's a physical thing. We
But
might
it's
have
never.
a
Go ahead.
I might have a thought that's based off of like a physical trait, like dang, I like this girl because I'm in a physical body that's male, but that's based off of the experience of a male. But me just thinking like, oh man, it's a beautiful day. A female can think it's a beautiful day. You see what I'm saying? Majority of you see what I'm saying? The majority of the thoughts that we're gonna have isn't really based off of like male or female experience. So
Male
that's
and
the
female is not masculine, feminine though, and so it's not the way I'm not understanding where you going with this, brother. I'm gonna come clean, but I'm trying to get to the next guest.
I
Go ahead and
wanted
respond, and I'm gonna get to the next
I
guest.
wanted to say that you're saying before energy was feminine, it was energy, but all invisible matter, which are electrons, is feminine energy. When they say negative in quantum physics, they're talking about feminine
Feminine energy,
energy.
yeah.
Positive is masculine energy. And they tell you that feminine free electrons is the cosmic glue that holds solids, liquids, and gases together. So that's feminine energy. The physical matter is only 10% of the universe, which is masculine energy. Masculine energy is proton, the first building block of matter. You see what I'm saying? She is before matter. She is before the physical energy. She is the spiritual energy, the source that people are saying we need to tap back into. It is her. So the balance of life needs to be restored within her mind and body and soul. Then all life can have balance.
Go ahead, Vigilante.
okay, yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, he
Go
could.
ahead,
We have other guests.
Vigilante, and then we'll get back to you in just a second.
Oh, okay, I got you. Are we still talking about the prompt?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got way off. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's the part I came in confused about. Okay, so I would say yes. I am a proud advocate for diaspora connecting myself. Had a live earlier this morning with a gentleman from Sierra Leone who was teaching me the Creole language, and I learned 3 or 4 different phrases this morning since I'm gonna be moving to Sierra Leone in December of this year. And so I believe that we are way more similar than we are different. And the more and more that we communicate with each other throughout the entire diaspora is the more that I realize how similar we are.
Yeah, absolutely. And what makes us the same is embryology. So this is a very deep conversation. That's why it went from, one place to another, because we actually talk about genetics and DNA in here. And that's what actually makes us the same is the single most cell that we come down to, the totipotent stem cell, is we're literally just replications of each other through that. So we were explaining that through science, through and so I agree with you. In what ways do you think that we're similar to each other
Oh
that you
man,
notice?
man, so many. My favorite Afrobeats artist, his name is Wilson. He is of the French diaspora. I want to say he lives in Paris, if I'm not mistaken, and he is Afro. Well, he's melanated, clearly, but he sings R&B in French to Afrobeats music. And when I listen to his music, I can like he looks just like all of my cousins first, like his features. And I feel like that his French, I hope that I'm making sense when I say what I'm about to say next. I feel like his French is an extension of the French that I don't know, that I feel like I do know, if that makes sense.
It might not be the French, it might be his frequency, that y'all are telepathically speaking the same language through energy.
Yeah, that might be it.
The language is really the barrier, and it doesn't create audible friction for our brains. It's that's the reason why they've introduced so many different languages to us, because it causes sulcuses in the brain. It divides the brain.
Yeah.
That's why we're in the state that we're in, and we're so divided, because it's mental division. Like literally, if we look at brain scans of our people,
It will be black.
Yeah, it's not. Our brains are not coherent. There's no brain coherence, let alone heart coherence, to even form the reality that we need or that we used to see. The state that our planet was in, because we were manifesting that. Now we're not. We're manifesting the system. We're manifesting reparations. We're manifesting shit that doesn't have anything to do with our DNA. So right now we're subscribing to a system globally. It's a global corporation that we're subscribing to that's keeping us in this shrunken frequency. I do value and appreciate what you're saying about how you can see that we're similar through musical expression, because the first musician was the BLK woman. And we can see that through looking at the hardest stone known to man, different petroglyphs and hieroglyphs that were left. We can also observe the way we moved so-called prehistorically, the women, how they played instruments, how they created instruments. These are the things that are also left in the tombs that they don't want you to know about, or left in these megalithic structures, these different figurines that we created through sacred geometry, right? That they are having something as simple as like a spin top or a spin pottery, that they don't understand how it was actually crafted.
Right.
And we're seeing that all over the globe. So the brother said music, we do see a lot of the same dance moves as well, with Louisiana, with so-called Africa, because it's genetic expression.
And the greatest frequency or sound that we've ever created was 432 hertz. The creation of all natural frequency of all natural organisms and matter of life. That's the best sound that we've ever created, and that's what we continue to do, no matter what frequency we're at. So I want you to know that it's all about DNA.
Somebody said we're manifesting Bad Girls Club and 9-to-5 jobs. Facts.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
So we got to start manifesting unity instead of trips to Cancun. We got to start manifesting real unity with our people, for real. And if you don't want unity, you need to be sitting down and asking yourself why. You need to be sitting down and asking yourself, why are you asking our so-called African brothers to pay you reparations when neither one of y'all faces is on that money?
At all. Not even a little bit.
So
we should be wanting to live like elephants, like lions, like honeybees, like ants on the planet.
Coherent.
You see what I'm saying? We should not want nothing from an external species to see the next sunrise. We should want nothing. All we need is ourselves and information.
Yeah, I definitely seen this when my first genealogy result came back. It was of Igbo descent, and I went down to Igbo Landing in St. Simon's Island in Georgia. And for those who are familiar with that tragedy in 1803, and I didn't know that I was going to also be meeting the Gullah Geechee people when I went down there. And I also didn't know that Igbo chief was going to be doing the naming ceremony. I thought they was going to skip it that year. So when I say that we got to see how similar we are in every way, from the American Afro diaspora all the way to the Gullah Geechee, all the way to the Nigerian motherland part that made its way down to Georgia, it was almost as though that body of water wasn't even there. And it really connected the dots for me and made me feel even more comfortable about moving to Sierra Leone in December.
Okay, that's interesting, because I know a lot of our people that do their genealogy, and I understand why our people do it. It's just, I understand that we're all connected through embryology. So I just don't feel the need to do my genealogy. I've done it before, trust me. I've done it at least back to 1700s on both sides as best I could. It took me a while to gather, sources and stuff like that. But once I learned genetics, I realized I just wasted my time. I didn't have to do that. Genetics is passed down through the mother, from the grandmother to the mother to the daughter. You know what I'm saying? Once you understand how DNA is passed down, you understand you're the replication of the very first woman. So it can connect us if we're doing it for the right reason. But those titles were created by YT, Arab, and Asian men. So let's just always remember that the title is not what makes you who you are. What makes you who you are is your biology and your DNA and your genetics. So that's what actually bonds us together, is our origin. The base word of genetics is gene, which means origin, that we share the same origin no matter how disconnected or what we look like today. We stem from the same place.
Right.
So, I'm glad that you're, pushing a message of unity, and that you understand that those are your brothers, regardless of the title, regardless of the so-called landmass, because they also name these landmasses. The land, nothing on that land knows that it's being called Sweden or London. It doesn't know that. We're the only ones that's going by that. You know what I'm saying? So well said, and abundance, y'all. User Amos, anybody have anything else to say? Somebody said, okay, somebody said not trying to be negative. I don't see us coming together, and that's the reason why it's not happening. Because there's people out there that don't see it happening, so they're not manifesting that reality. So it will never probably happen in your lifetime, like in your reality, because you don't want to see it. And you're the creator of that. So in your reality, you're manifesting division because you don't see unity.
Yep.
I see us coming together. We have to raise consciousness. So somebody that doesn't see their people coming together is probably not trying to raise the consciousness of their people. And I say that with respect, just respectfully. User?
You said, because I was someone that was on a lot of these lives, and I would take in a lot of the information and stuff, but I feel like in my own reality, I wasn't manifesting anything. Like, I was still around people that were still doing silly things. Like, they're still talking about racism. They're still talking about things that aren't progressing or changing anything. But then once I actually isolated myself and like separated myself from people that don't actually align with me, and started actually talking about what's in my mind, it's like shifted everything. Like, I've spoken with so many people who are on the same frequency, but they just need more. They need to connect back with themselves more. They need to learn more about themselves and spend more time with themselves. And like, the more you do that, the more you get clarity on everything. And like you guys said, if you don't believe that there won't be a change, then there won't be a change, because you're saying that and your subconscious mind is digesting that as fact. But if you know that there is going to be change, because the more you sit with everything and the more you intake this information and truly understand it, there will be change. Like, you can already see it. Like, even the more you align and speak with more people on the same frequency as you know that there's going to be plenty of other people. Like, there's going to be a ripple effect, and it's going to grow more and more people will keep talking about the same topics. So there will be a change.
Facts. Well said.
Well said, sister.
When we go live, if you pay attention, the lives slightly change their titles, especially when we go live during the day and we do topics about speciation. See, when we do topics about unity, is nobody in here. When we're talking about how we're not the same species and it's YT people in here and we're arguing with that, going back and forth with them about the cell biology, see, that excites our people. Then that's the live that has 200 people in it, 300 people. So that's why we stopped doing that, because people just kept coming and wanting to hear how we're different from them, but they didn't want to hear how we were the same. So, in response to that, PD is saying that he came here to wake himself up from the illusion. The illusion is the division that you're trying to not really. I understand what people say when they say I came to wake myself up. That's very true. You came to wake yourself up, but your peace is very much connected to his. Your piece is just a piece when you're a part of a puzzle, though. So we came here to know thyself, and knowing thyself means that you are one with all, right? So did you just come here to wake yourself up to what, though? What are you waking yourself up to? If we're in the divided state, what's the opposite of division? Unity. So what are you waking up to? That's my question to you, brother or sister. I'm not sure who's behind that account. Amos, did you have something? I'm probably about to end the live. I'm gonna post this one and the last one. The last one was 5.5 hours. That's gonna go on YouTube, and then we'll it'll take me not that long now to download this one, and then I'll probably load both of them up within.
Okay, I wanted to say one more thing. The brother or sister said, I care about myself and no one else. You only care about your family. So the 8 million children that are going missing and more than half of them look like us, that's not your family? The children that are getting misled, misguided, that's not your family? You came here to evolve the planet, meaning awaken the higher consciousness within your brothers and sisters, within the plants, within the trees. It's not about you. It's about us. It ain't no I, it's we. You see what I'm saying? So if you're saying no, then you're not really for the universal laws. Because the universal law of oneness is saying that we are all connected through quantum entanglement. You see what I'm saying? No matter if I have a brother that is on Mars, we are connecting to each other telepathically. Yep. It doesn't matter if I'm aware of it or not, but that's keeping my body up to par, especially if I'm feeding my body what it's supposed to be eating. So our people really need to understand that it's a species thing. If you go into nature, no species would allow you to tamper mentally or physically with their children. Facts. They will all step and harm you. They will get you out the way, and they don't play. They don't ask questions later or now. Mm-hmm. They just get you out the way because they see their future. Yep. When they see you doing that, they see their future. Like, damn, this is the future of my people that is gonna be hurt. So you agree that we're all prokaryotic organisms, but it only goes back to you and your family? Nobody is looking out for me. I'm doing the work for myself. To be unified with yourself I don't know if you're working on real unity then. Mm-hmm. Because the more I locked in with myself, I began to see the bigger picture and how connected we actually were. Wow. Like when I got in nature, I also see myself like in the trees because we function like them. Mm-hmm. So it's not even just about me and my family. It's about the animals, the insects, because we created them too. So I'm not going to abandon, especially as a mother of life, I don't abandon my creations. I'm trying to actually mentally
create you for like the whole earth.
Yeah. We all biologically and genetically identify with the entire planet. Mm-hmm. So if we're one with the planet and he is too, then y'all are both one with each other, whether you realize it or not. Go ahead, Amos, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Go ahead.
Yep.
So what I was thinking about, while we all know, like, we was thinking about genetics and, the black woman and, like, okay, we all love this. We all love this energy source. Okay. Like, okay, cool. So like, y'all all, so like, y'all know about like, okay, the Anunnaki, right? So we can all agree that the Anunnaki was a black civilization, right?
No.
Okay, you don't think the Anunnaki was a black civilization?
Not according to their genetics. They're the tall whites, the so-called tall whites. That's who they are. There's other there's other intelligent life forms that are here. That's who's actually behind genetic modification. It's not YT people, because YT people genetically are last in the genus. Asians are first. Yeah. So if they're
hold on for a second. Let her finish.
I didn't even get to speak. Okay. It's my turn. I haven't even spoken yet.
It's my turn. Go ahead.
Damn. I haven't even spoken yet. Like, y'all really don't want me to speak.
Hold on, let's actually go ahead and land, and then we'll get to FBA Mike because it's a new guest.
I'm the only person y'all rushing to land, but it's okay. I'm finna go ahead and land. I get how it is when I'm in the room. I got that.
Yes, it's because new guest, brother. Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
What's up, y'all?
Wait, who's?
Hold on, FBA Mike. They trying to rush me off. Okay, all I want to say is look up the everybody in the chat if y'all really want to get into a really interesting thing and get an idea of the goddess. Look up the Lady of Fatima. You can do it on TikTok, or you can do it on Google. Y'all probably don't know who she is, but that was a real event that happened.
Okay, I'm gonna look and DM it to me so I can do my research, and when we come back, probably tomorrow or the next day, we're gonna talk about it. Go ahead, FBA.
Rush me off. That's crazy, but I'm a man of God. Y'all can rush me off. Y'all can rush me off. Go
No,
ahead.
At
hey,
most, we're
hey,
coming back to you. We're not rushing you off or telling you to get off the panel, but we have new guests. You've been here for like an hour. Like, you know?
and the fact that we have more guests, now we have to keep the live running
Don't it?
more.
Yeah.
So
I
we're
spoke for like
gonna
3
come back.
seconds.
Hold on, my brother. You see, we're wasting time right now. You pleading and begging
I'm
to
a man of
talk.
God. I get it. It's okay.
Man of God, but you okay? We'll come back to you.
Go ahead, FBA, and we'll come back to User and Amos and get to Saint Rashad too. Go ahead. Welcome up.
What's going on? I just got off another live right now, so I'm just kind of confused. I'm 19, trying to figure out who the fuck I am. I'm having an identity crisis.
That's because our people are subscribing to titles that were placed on us by white, Arab, and Asian men. But what makes you who you are?
Earlier,
Genetics.
earlier in the week, I was African American. Yesterday, I was foundational black. Today, they told me don't use the word or term black, and that I'm American Indian. What the fuck am I?
Why is your name FBA Mike if you don't know? Why are you subscribing to that
Because
identity?
they told
if you
me.
don't know
They
yours,
told me
you know?
yesterday.
So hold on, brother. Never, if you want to know who you are, never listen to nobody else first. You need to study your genetics and your DNA and your biology.
They told
That's
me
the
not to
first.
take a DNA
All right, I'm
test.
gonna
They
come
said that's
clean. I'm gonna come clean. I'm not finna talk about nobody else live. This is my live. We discussing the topic on how we're the same. What makes us the same is our embryological origin. The single most stem cell that we stem from is where we all come from globally as BLK people, no matter if we're called FBA, American Indian, so-called Negroes, Black, Ghanaian. We all stem from the single most same totipotent stem cell, which is the highest level of cell potency. So
Facts.
if that's your take, FBA, okay, bet. So I'm gonna keep you up here. I'm just trying to get to the next guest, and we gonna all talk in just a minute, okay? I just want to introduce Saint Rashid. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would just say, what other quote unquote black groups has as many contributions of foundational black Americans?
Contributions to what? White man's system or what? What are we talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
The invention, social justice, we literally everything. Culinary, culture, music, anything.
We've all been contributing to that globally.
That's my question though. What's your answer?
Yeah, we've all been contributing to that globally. We've all been colonized globally. So when it comes to social justice, there is no social justice because you've been socially constructed to believe that you're a title. That's what racism and ethnic groups are about. They're social.
Ma'am,
let her
who are you
finish
referring
because
to?
you wanted her to answer
I'm
that
talking
question.
about our people globally. We're subscribing to
But
titles
what
that
group? That's what
replace.
I'm asking you.
It's not a group. I'm talking about us on a global scale. It's not one over the other. We've all been colonized and socialized to believe that one is doing more over the other or not.
So you don't have a group in mind that you could tell me?
What do you
Correct.
think, brother? Come up here and share your thoughts. We want to hear from
Prove
you.
us wrong how we're not the
Yeah,
same.
that's what it says up here. Prove us wrong.
Well,
We
that
really
was my
wanna hear it.
question.
But all so-called black people around the globe are genetically and biologically the same. So what differentiates them as a species or as a group of people?
I literally just listed all the things and no one answered my question.
That has nothing to do with DNA. You told us about the things that we were cultivated to do or trained and conditioned to do. Most of the inventions that we hold on for a second.
Okay, chill with the over talking. This is a
Exactly.
conversation, not a debate.
The answer is no, pretty much, basically.
No.
The answer is not no.
you
I
cut
don't
me
even
off.
understand what question you're asking. And he left on his own. We didn't take him down. He said
Exactly.
no to what? We're saying we're all the same. He's saying no. What are you saying no to? You're saying that we're which group? And then you're saying no. Nobody knows what you're talking about because y'all be coming from other lives with other discussions trying to bring them in here. We not spewing the same shit that y'all talking about in there. So all that shit was just exerted energy for nothing. A grown man that's 19 came in here saying, oh, they saying I'm this, they don't have shit. What do you say? You got to define yourself. Oh, I did it because they told me to. I'm having an identity crisis because they said. You don't know who you are. You need to look in the mirror. All right? The other brother, well, which one has contributed more? Don't nobody give a fuck about this weak ass system that's been deteriorating us on a global scale.
Who contributed to the poison the most around the world?
Who has more poison over the other? Like,
who's poisoning our children more? Like, that's why I'm like, bro, the inventions that you're talking about, the traffic lights, what is that? That's visual pollution. The when we created the AC, that weakens your bones. That takes the calcium out of your bones.
yeah.
All of these different inventions was they conditioned it into you because these harm our anatomy, which is our greatest invention that our mother gives us.
Literally, we were creating these different inventions. A lot of it was by force too. That's what y'all don't want to talk about. A lot of it was by force because who was actually in the fields? Who was actually doing the stuff that it wasn't YT people, right? So they were taking our inventions and then marching us down. I got another restriction, F1 in the chat.
Heavy emojis.
Yeah. All those inventions, they were taking them back to the courthouse and getting ownership of them. That's why you're trying to go through them and get them back.
Yep.
That's what the reparations is about, y'all.
We want our inventions back.
He stole it and you think you're the same as these people. Or who contributed to this system that's destroying us the most? Nigga, we're not supposed to do that. Do you understand that that's bad? The fuck? Like, do you understand that that's not a good thing? That contributing to a system that is designed for your destruction and it's a global corporation is not a good thing. Y'all are talking about y'all are contributing music, but a lot of our music is saying what about each other?
Degrading our women and
Degrading our women and men.
and
saying
unaliving our
kids, men. Fuck them kids. Y'all shitting on children that didn't ask to even be born. You just created a whole human suit in your womb, and now you saying F them kids. First you calling them kids, baby goats. Then you saying fuck them. Like you didn't just create. That's the thing. You laying down having children don't even understand your creation.
And the
only thing that we know is our reproductive organs and barely that. You don't know shit about your brain, nothing about the spleen. And then when you create children, if you don't know, you're not teaching them nothing about their body. So that's the real identity crisis. You don't know nothing about yourself. You subscribe to a title and think you are the title. Oh, the culture cultivated you to think that you was Nigerian. You were cultivated to believe that you were American Indian and that you're so-called better. But if you look at the landmasses and what's happening, it's the same shit.
Exactly.
Their musical influence is over here, is it not?
And they always want to say we was never colonized. That's why when we tell them y'all we was cultivated, they want to run away. They don't want to act like we was never colonized. But somehow children from every landmass are going missing. Somehow that's going on. I'm confused. Somehow we're eating meat. You see what I'm saying? Like it's just like you was talking about, oh, the food, like, okay, how you mix carcinogens together to give cancers to the body. You see what I'm saying? Diseases to the body. Like we're trying to flex how we eat around the world, but it's with meat.
They not understanding. Like, PD, I'm gonna come clean. I need you to expand your thinking for a second, my brother or sister.
For real.
You're saying everyone gets the sauce from us. Do you understand that in order to create division, let's look at children, okay? Let's say there's a mother with 4 children. If a mother conditioned all 4 of her children, she's saying, oh, Leonard is the best. Leonard is the greatest. Leonard is gonna go on to do this. Leonard is wouldn't the rest of them, what do you think that would do to the psychological state and the mental development state of the rest of the 3 children? Wouldn't Leonard be a big-headed, arrogant, wouldn't understand mannerisms or respect properly? Probably thinks that he's spoon-fed, right? So she is conditioning Leonard to think that Leonard is best out of the 4 children. That's what's going on, man.
Oh yeah,
you're letting a white man tell you that you're better than somebody over there, and this nigga is came out of cave 60,000. Hold on, Ahmad. Hold on 1 second. 6 to 10,000 years ago, on all fours, with hypertrichosis, vestigial tails, and unable to speak and reproduce. You gonna let this nigga be the deal breaker? Somebody that just received bipedalism yesterday. Like, what the hell? Go ahead, Ahmad. Amos, my bad.
No, I'm saying I agree with you 100%. You see what I'm saying? Like we all together. And and like us not like having like all this stuff going on with the children and how like mentally messed up they are. Like the whole situation, I feel like this a lot comes from the money situation, because I feel like that's one of the situations like that's going to end, because the economy is going down real bad, and I've been like looking into that because I'm pretty sure we all can see, like I feel like when the economy fully ends, then it's going to be like a really hard time, but that's going to transition us back into that unity that we're looking for, because we can't unify under their economy. So
Oh,
the
that's
dollar that
facts.
the dollar has to crash, and it will crash. When it does crash, that's when I'm pretty sure y'all know about the whole market of the beast situation. They're gonna try to do that. They're gonna try to do that when they crash this system to implement us into the next system. You see what I'm saying? But that's when the ones that's gonna fall for that. A lot of people gonna have to do that, because without the market of beast, they can't get no food or nothing like that. That's
That's
when you got
facts.
produce. That's when you got to produce your own food. You know what I mean? You got to produce your own soap. You got to be self-sufficient, so
Yeah.
they can't put the market of beast on you, because that's what they're going to do. You see what I'm saying? So
And I wanted
some
to add on to that. Go ahead, brother. I just wanted to add on to that if you was done.
Nah, I'm saying like that's why I've been looking to me personally. I know that I think is they trying to push this by 2030. We already in the 2026, and I can already see where this economy is going, and it's already January. They're going to do some crazy stuff this year to push that system. I'm getting
Hmm.
into beekeeping. You got to produce something, because they're going to give all the jobs to AI. So you will have no option. So I'm getting into beekeeping. I'm trying to get into the community. I know a person that is more established with cows. You see what I'm saying? But this is when we're getting back with God, because guess what? We can't eat their inorganic food. You know that fake food they got in Kroger's
That's
is
what
is getting
cows
ready to get.
are.
Yeah, but whatever you want to eat, the whole going to Walmart, that's not, unless you got a chip in your hand, that's not gonna be a thing for a lot of people. You see what, and they dead serious about that. So
They're
like,
not gonna have cows because the eukaryotic cell is going away. And most
Yeah.
of the cows that you think are not, they're being genetically produced anyways. They're not. So when you're saying the system is going away, you're saying genetic modification as well.
That's
anything,
what the system is built on,
Yeah.
genetic modification. So they train and condition us to uh accept genetic modification to build it for them. You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? That's what happened.
Reducing.
So what's happening is um I forgot I was gonna add something earlier, but I forgot the point that I
I
wanted
just feel
to
like
say.
it's like anything you can naturally produce,
Okay.
whatever you feel like soap, toothpaste, whatever you feel like you can naturally produce from like nature, that's going to be very important. That's why skill sets is important, because you know what I mean, like because like they're going to fuck with people. We seeing them do it every single day. They're dead ass like. They're whatever the fuck's going on, they serious with it. This agenda shit, the depopulation shit, they're dead serious. They're dead serious. So you see what I'm saying? So like I'm watching this shit like this shit really happening right now. Wow. So like I'm preparing. You see what I'm saying? Like, and so as far as the black unity, that's the beautiful thing, right? Because a lot of black people are going to be on board, and that's when all the 144, you know what I'm saying, however you want to put it, these black people gonna come together and we gonna unify. The other black people, they gonna get chipped, because they're not with it. They're gonna get a chip immediately, no hesitation. You see what I'm saying? So like when that happens, the people that are gonna get chipped, I can't even like imagine the hell they gonna go through. It's like giving your soul away, like literally. So like you see what I'm saying? So like that's what we're waiting for. That's what I'm waiting for that unification. I see it's gonna be very, very beautiful. Black men are gonna have to come together, because the black men, this is where the black men come in, because we're gonna be the front to protect everybody, like our females and shit. You see, I mean, like, to protect we gonna have to be the ones, you know what I mean, to stand up. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. That's like that's when the fight or flight gonna have to come in, because you know what I mean. These people, like, they evil, bruh. Like shit. What can I say?
That
Yeah,
cow that you was
I'm an endo there though.
That cow that you was talking about, that's the mark of the beast. You see what I'm saying? Anything that's unnatural that you put on your body that affects your biological and psychological state is the mark of the beast. It comes from actual different variations and compilations of animals and other DNA that is to slow down your DNA. So what we should be doing is eating according to our genetic makeup. And eating is not with just your mouth, what you feed your eyes, what you feed your ears, what you feed your five normal senses. Because once you feed your five normal senses and they grow and they heighten, you awaken different portions of your brain that's gonna help you not just unite with yourself, but unite with the species and help give ideas and information to the species with your piece of this puzzle on how we should be uniting. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what you're talking about. But we have to really dive deep on what we should be. Because you say, oh, what everybody eat, what they're going to eat. Are you going to be unaliving animals? Is that the consciousness that you're going to be in? Because meat eaters are not going to be able to live with sun eaters. And they can't think like sun eaters. That's why they have us eating meat. Because if we were just going back to sun eating, we would completely shut this down. We wouldn't need solar radiation to come out the sky. We would admit it naturally.
That's what I'm saying. My thing is, I feel like with the current situation and how, like, we're gonna, like, have to go back to being just organic. We're not gonna have a choice.
You
And then
gotta
when we
learn.
go,
My bad. Go
and then
ahead.
when we go back to just being organic and we just take it, like, for example, like the solar energy is increasing on the planet. Melanoma is really bad. They're hiding it. Sun cancer is through the roof. They're getting sick. You know, you see what I'm saying? Not just that, the fake food that they're making, they don't have the resources to continue making the fake food. So the time, their reign is over. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? So once we get back into eating, just being completely organic, they're not just going to just let that slide. You see what I'm saying? They're evil. They're going to try to go back to the bullshit. It's going to get physical, no matter. You see what they're demons. You see what I'm saying? So what you see, that's why I'm like, okay. That's why unity. We need to unify, like, as an army, not, you know, not on a more positive, non-toxic, demonic, like on a balanced, you know, proper way. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
my
Because
laws of Maya, universal law. So that would have to force us to study that. That would have to force us to understand what's organic, because you're saying that you're gonna get into beekeeping, but essentially bees are prokaryotes and you're colonizing bees. Bees are not supposed to be kept. Like,
We're
you
not
know
no,
what
we
I'm
supposed to
take
have
we
saying?
take we,
farms.
we take good
Everything,
care of the
everything,
bees.
everything that bees take care of themselves because their genetics tell them to.
No, but if you
What
study
can you really
beekeeping,
do?
if you study beekeeping, you
If
know
you let
you
it
see what I'm
finish,
saying?
if you let
Okay,
it, if
what I'm saying is that bees are not supposed to be kept in captivity,
yeah,
period. All vegetation, everything that you see is responsible because of bees doing what they naturally do on the planet, and they've been doing that for 2 to 300 million years before they were put into captivity, before beekeeping became a thing. So what I was trying to say is that I understand your overall point. What you're saying is that you have to get back to being your own doctor. You know what I'm saying? Your own so-called teacher. Yeah, your own herbalist. I understand. But what I'm trying to say is that we have to understand what's what we actually need to be tapping into, and what we actually need to be harnessing, and how it's done. Because you're finna keep bees, and that's finna keep us in the frequency that we're in. Because bees are meant to flourish and travel all over the planet and work as a species together, just like us. So
yep,
bees are working together. Dragonflies are working together. Dung beetles have been cleaning up after animals for millions of years. You see what I'm
yep.
saying? No, they don't need anybody to intervene with their genetics that have already programmed them to do what they're doing. Our genetics programmed us to unify, but we're divided.
Yep.
So we got to learn what true unity is, because I'm going to come clean. We already have people that be trying to unify with us on the side. Come over here, let's do this, let's build this, let's do. But then when we talk to our people, and try to understand the psychological state of our people, turns out they jealous. Turns out they don't really see eye to eye. Turns out they not really locked in. You see what I'm saying? So we can't just come together and unify just because, oh, you're so-called black. Stars moving in alignment. Everything happens in nature based off an alignment. Nothing is forced. Everything is through understanding energy. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure, like, please don't try to forcibly create these groups. AKA, I've seen cults form on TikTok. I've seen people try to get cults, people that we were going live with every day, not aware, not to shit on them, not to talk bad, but not really aware of the energy that they're carrying and how they're transmuting it. That's why knowledge of self has to be most important. You got to sit with yourself and really question every ideology that comes across your mind. Is this you, or is this indoctrinated into me? That's what we're talking about. When you do that, then that's when unity becomes so much more clear to you. When you're walking in truth and your authenticity, then you begin to you begin to come in connection with people that are moving the same. Right now, we want this fake ass system. We want fake ass money, fake ass reparations, fake ass food, fake ass culture, fake ass shit that don't have nothing to do with our genetics. That's why we're manifesting. That's why shit looks the way that it does. So boom, let's let everybody land. I'm gonna get to user, and we're gonna wrap it up. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead, user. Abundance, y'all, and gratitude.
Abundance, y'all. She said it
Abundance to
perfectly.
you guys too. So appreciative of you guys, seriously. And like you guys just said, it all comes down to the system. Like, we need to let it go. Like,
That's
it's
it.
not beneficial to us in any way.
Yep.
It's not even natural to us. Like, our natural state is operating in nature. Like, we have to let go of all this inorganic shit. Like, we're never gonna evolve from it. And like you said, you can't force our brothers and sisters to have the same ideology as us. I feel like the more people that speak on it, the more people will be drawn to what aligns to them, and then slowly they'll get the message, you know?
Well said.
Abundance, sister.
You know what? This one, I'm gonna make sure that I download this live and it's going right on YouTube, because the discourse from the comments and that we've had in here today has been really high vibrational, and I appreciate every brother or sister that's come in here. Even the brothers and sisters that left, their consciousness was raised, and that information is stored within them. So all they have to do is tap back into that frequency if they choose to, because they're the creator of their realities. So Amos, you've been cooking in here today, brother. You see what I'm saying? And you've been very receptive, and abundance, and
we value that.
we value
really
that.
Do.
I'm gonna let you.
Peace out,
You
y'all.
love to talk. Yeah, I know you love to talk. I was gonna let you see if you had one more point and wanted to land. If not, I was gonna skedaddle.
No, I'm pretty good.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Okay. Abundance. Well, y'all, YouTube is in our live. Denzel is in the chat. If you see him, Denzel Tawoto, his YouTube is in his bio, and we both post the same live. So if you miss one, you can always catch it there. Abundance and gratitude, y'all. Keep raising the consciousness.
Yep.